Cincinnati, Ohio, here on Comcast Sportsnet as we bring you Chicago Cubs baseball. Warm temperatures, windy, and a threat of rain tonight as the Cubs begin a 3-game weekend series against the Cincinnati Reds. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Pretty exciting news today for the Cubs. That in a second. But, Bob, as we get set for this weekend series, the Cubs just got swept in Pittsburgh. But as we look at the central standings, there are a lot of teams that are bunched up in the middle.
Well, we kind of expected that when the season started. The Cardinals were obviously the team that everybody felt was the cream of the division. But everybody else just kind of bunched together waiting for that hot streak right now. The Reds have won 7 of their last 10, so they've moved up into second place because of that.
And with the Cubs scoring just 5 runs in the 3-game sweep at Pittsburgh, a little jump start here for the offense, hopefully. Starlin Castro was going to be here at some point this season, and lo and behold, on May 7th, here he is.
Well, I think the Cubs are hoping for a similar result that the Mets got when they called up their #1 prospect, Ike Davis. The team seemed to take off offensively. Hopefully that'll be the case with Starlin Castro and the Cubs.
So he'll play short and bat 8th, and Ryan Theriot will move from short to 2nd. Let's get into the starting pitchers. Carlos Silva will go for the Cubs.
Yeah, he had his first start of the season here against these Reds. I believe it was April 9th. Yeah, 6 innings, 3-hit baseball. Was really good in that ball game. One of 12 pitchers in the majors with 5 games started and has yet to lose a ball game.
And for the Reds, it'll be right-hander Homer Bailey, and you see what he did on April 9th.
Yeah, against the Cubs in 3 starts, 16 innings pitched. He's given up 24 hits and 8 walks. Cubs get a lot of base runners on against Bailey.
Reds come in again at 500. The Cubs need to sweep this series to head home at 500 on this trip. And coming up, Starlin Castro, just 20 years old, begins what hopefully is a long, productive career in Chicago. The Cubs and Reds and Castro's debut next.
One Coors Light coming up. Here you go.
Thanks. Bob, sweet setup.
Yeah, ever since I got this new Coors Light home draft, it's like having a bar at home. Thanks.
What's your girlfriend gonna say?
I got that covered.
You're not on the list,
Bob has a list?
and you're not on it.
Introducing the new Coors Light Home Draft. CO2 pressurized for up to 30 days of fresh frost-brewed draft beer right from your fridge.
Big Darryl, give it up. How you doing, Sarah? Good to see you.
Come on, really?
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Spirit Hollow Golf Course in Burlington, Iowa, one of Iowa's most prestigious and challenging courses. The tight tree-lined fairways, rolling hills, and open prairie offer a truly unique golfing experience. Enjoy a championship course close to home and at an amazing rate. Stay and play at Pizzazz, featuring Catfish Bend Casino, the elegant Catfish Bend Inn and Spa, and Fun City. Call 866-898-9349 or go online at SpiritHollowGolfCourse.com for reservations and specials.
Imagine if you could keep your engine as close as possible to factory clean. Introducing new Pennzoil Ultra, a revolutionary new synthetic oil that takes clean where it's never been before. Nothing feels like a factory clean engine, and nothing keeps you closer to factory clean than new Pennzoil Ultra motor oil. Enter for a chance to win the Ultra driving experience in Italy. No purchase necessary.
Cubs fans made the trip after a rough start to their road trip in Pittsburgh. The Cubs hoping for better results as they begin a series in Cincinnati. Tonight, first pitch is coming up. Hi there, Luke Stuckmeyer in our downtown Chicago studios. Back to the Great American Ballpark in just a bit. But first, welcome to the Starlin Castro era. The Cubs calling up their phenom, Starlin Castro, today. He will be in the starting lineup and playing shortstop and batting 8th. Castro is hitting .376 in Double-A Tennessee this season. Now he's ready for his big league debut.
We brought up our young shortstop from our Double-A affiliate in Tennessee, and he's out there playing shortstop today. I had a little talk with him and told him to, we welcomed him here and told him just to play the way he did in spring training. Did a real nice job for us. Actually, he's been playing very well in Tennessee also, so he'll be playing shortstop. The really good young players, they come up quicker. You can see what's happening in Major League Baseball now. These kids are coming up from Double-A at younger ages, and basically they all do a pretty darn good job. The good players, they find a way to adjust, and they're really good ones. They get competitive at whatever level they're at, and that's what we expect young Castro to do for us.
Remember, after the game, keep it here for Sylvania Cubs Post-Game Live. Todd Hollingsworth and I will break down the game. Plus, we want to hear from you on Castro's call-up. Email us at pglchicago@comcastsportsnet.com. We will address some of the questions and comments after the game on the post-game show. And you can find out more on Castro right now on my Bricks and Ivy blog at csnchicago.com. That's a wrap from here. After the break, Len and Bob with the call from Cincinnati. Enjoy Starlin Castro's Major League debut next on Comcast Sportsnet.
For brakes, I want a great price, and I need a great guarantee.
Save $50 off our 4-wheel brake service and get the Life Plus brake guarantee. $50 off brakes, a great guarantee, and free brake inspections always at CarX.
What if we just do what we did out west?
Oh, I've seen this. That guy dies at the end.
Don't worry about Jake. He's the least of our worries.
AT&T Uverse. Watch any show you record in any room. Buy a qualifying Uverse bundle starting at $99 a month. Plus, get $100 back via promotion card.
Foolhardy? Perhaps. But ever since I went to K&G Fashion Superstore and got this suit, I feel invincible, like a modern-day Hercules. But instead of some billowy tunic, I'm sporting these killer threads. It's a feeling that says, look out, world. Here I come. My bad.
Invincible at defiantly low prices every day. K&G.
An oil change for $19.99? I like it.
It's the CarX full-service oil change with top-quality oil for $19.99. $19.99 at CarX, where oil changes are now under $20.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Lexus, reinventing the vehicle that invented it all. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Member-owned means our reason for being is your well-being. Experience wellness everywhere. AT&T. See what's new from AT&T. Visit att.com for details. And by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
Overcast skies, and hopefully we can avoid the rain tonight. That would be a good thing. If it doesn't rain, it's going to be an excellent night weather-wise. Warm temperatures, and let's get into the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Ryan Theriot has moved from short to second, but he's still in the leadoff spot in the order at a stellar .341. Fukudome, Lee, Bird, Ramirez in the middle. Alfonso Soriano is in left. Soto catches the rookie Castro making his debut in the 8th spot, and Carlos Silva, the pitcher, hits 9th.
Let's take a look at the Reds defense, brought to you by Jimmy John's. Johnny Gomes in left field, hit it to left. Drew Stubbs in center, Jay Bruce over in right field, Scott Rowland, Orlando Cabrera on the left side of the infield, Brandon Phillips and Joey Votto on the right side. Ramon Hernandez doing the catching tonight for right-hander Homer Bailey. Seems like Homer Bailey has been a prospect for the Reds for a long time, finally getting an opportunity to start on a regular basis this year. You see the numbers he's compiled so far. I mentioned his 3 career starts against the Cubs, 16 innings total, 24 hits and 8 walks.
Set the umpires for you. Third generation big league umpire Brian Runge will work the plate. The crew chief Jerry Lane is at first. Sam Holbrook and Mike Winters will round it out. Let's hope the Stormy is for later. Maybe 11:30 midnight, something like that. An hour or two after this game ends. Wind blowing straight out as we get started. And a first pitch strike from Bailey to Theriot. This is a rematch, Bailey versus Silva from April 9th. Both guys got a no decision. And the Reds won the game 5-4. They took 2 of 3 in that series. Silva without a loss. Bailey has yet to win.
Bailey throws you 4 basic pitches: fast, curve, slider, change. He will sink his fastball from time to time. Throw 4 seamers across the top of the zone.
Slow windup and a ground ball right side. Little option flip like a quarterback would from Votto to Bailey to get Terrio. Kind of interesting, Bob. The Cubs are getting great production, even though Terrio made it out. They lead the National League with a .390 on base percentage from the top spot in the order. The Reds are last at .228, and that's why they made a change atop their lineup. It'll be Orlando Cabrera leading off in the bottom of the first. Here's Kosuke. Did not make an appearance last night for the first time all season. Back in the lineup, promptly singles into left.
Down over the heart of the plate. Kosuke just lined it into left field, taking my advice. Hit it to left. Johnny Gomes, a shaky defender at best out there in left field. He's in the lineup for his bat. You want to test him as often as possible in this game.
Here's Derek Lee, and he swings and fouls it off. Derek is 5 out of 7 with a double against Bailey in his career. A tall righty coming back on a slider. Caught the outside corner. Derek saying to Brian Runge, really? Really?
Good numbers in his previous 41 games here at this ballpark. Yeah, that's the way it's going when you're having trouble finding base hits. It seems like every borderline call goes against you. Bailey tries to challenge down low in the zone. Just a little too low that time in the estimation of Brian Runge behind the plate.
Bailey just turned 24 on Monday. This is his 43rd career start. Threw a whopping 121 pitches in his last outing. That got him into the 7th at St. Louis.
Well, we'll see how aggressive Lou's going to be in this series, at least in this particular situation with Fukudome on at first. Derek Lee at the plate. I'd like to see Derek.
Does go, and it's hit foul. Be nice to put together a big opening inning and get the kid Castro to the plate. He's hitting 8th tonight. Fukudome runs again out into center, and it's going to drop down. Nice piece of base running by Kosuke. He saw it was going to get down, and he goes first to third.
Good jump at first, and as you said, a good read that time by Fukudome. He sensed, because of the sound of the ball hitting the bat, that it wasn't going to carry very far. Derek got jammed, gets it out there over the head of Brandon Phillips into shallow right center. Fukudome never broke stride. See, he saw that ball down, turns the corner at second base, and easily makes it to third. That comes from knowing where your outfielders are positioned, knowing their depth. Are they playing Derek to pull? Are they playing to the opposite field? And then reading the ball off the bat, getting the best possible jump.
Marlon Byrd now, runners at first and third and one out. Knee-high fastball, strike one. Marlin went 2 for 10 in the just completed series in Pittsburgh, but still ranked 6th in the league in batting average at .339. Reds are in double play depth around their infield, and the 0-1 pitch, slider, misses low. 1-1. Back-to-back singles, Fukudome and Lee have the Cubs threatening. Bailey in no hurry with runners on base. Marlon Byrd taking his time, getting his batting gloves all situated.
You see Kosuke wearing a brace on that left wrist. Usually that's a result of a guy that drags his hand when he slides into a base. You can very easily jam your wrist, putting it down, trying to slow down your momentum, and that brace will help keep you from doing that. Some guys just like to hold dirt in each one of their hands as they take their lead off base, to make sure they don't drop their hands down and try to slow themselves down at the end of a slide.
And he struck him out. A good breaking ball. That's a big one, 2 down, and a chance for Bailey to get out of it.
Just a weird rhythm to that entire at bat. Bailey stepping off the rubber, Marlin stepping out of the batter's box, both of them stepping out at the same time, but ultimately Byrd goes down chasing a slider off the outside corner.
Now the struggling Aramis Ramirez at $148 for the year. 1 for 11 on the trip. To accommodate Starlin Castro's arrival, the Cubs optioned Ramirez's backup at third base, Chad Tracy, to AAA Iowa. So you'll see Jeff Baker and Mike Fontenot as the main backups at third behind Ramirez. And even with this move, it's not as if Lou is going to find a lot of time for Fontenot and or Baker at third. Even with Ramirez struggling, Lou has said he's going to let him work himself out of this slump and will basically play every day. So Fontenot and Baker, Bob, become the super utility guys now that they're no longer starters at second.
Well, you figure if Castro's up at the major league level, he's going to play every day at shortstop. Otherwise, why bring him up? Moving Ryan Theriot over to second base, and Theriot's done a nice job, as you mentioned, in that leadoff spot, carrying a high batting average, a good on-base percentage, and what little bit of speed the Cubs have is represented in Ryan Theriot at the top of the order.
And he held up 1-2.
Belt high fastball just off the inside corner. Ramirez that time able to check his swing.
High and a fastball, 2-2. The babyface Starlin Castro. He looks young and he is young. He'll be the first Cub born in the 90s to make his major league debut. Pop foul and out of play. Good take on a close pitch. A full count with 2 down, so Derek Lee will be on the move with the pitch from first.
And that was one of those borderline pitches that a good receiver gets around that ball and makes it look like it's on the outside corner. That time Ramon Hernandez pushed that ball further out of the strike zone.
Lee takes off towards second. Ground ball to third. Scott Rowland picks it up, and Bailey does escape. First and third, 1 out, and they do not score. Carlos Silva to the mound when we come back.
Discover all that Northwest Florida has to offer. 17 hidden beaches, 1 revealing destination. Fly Southwest new one-stops from Chicago Midway to Panama City Beach starting at $119 one way. Grab your beach bag, it's on.
Add style and beauty to your home with products from Menards. Add a natural look to your deck with AC2 treated railing panels. They're pre-assembled and include the attachment brackets for only $28.88 per panel. Update your fencing with pre-assembled PVC fence panels. They're ultrasonically welded for superior strength and feature a lifetime warranty. A 6-foot-high lattice-top panel is $49.99. Dedicated to service and quality. Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Might want to rename Cincinnati Walk-Off City, as they've come up with some big last-at-bat wins. The Red Southwest starting lineup. We mentioned Cabrera in that leadoff spot. Brandon Phillips recently moved up from 4th to 2nd. Scott Rowland now hitting cleanup, and not too many surprises in that lineup that Carlos Silva will face.
Take a look at the Cubs defense, brought to you by Jimmy John, Soriano, Bird, and Fukudome across the outfield tonight. Ramirez and young Starlin Castro on the left side. Terrio and Lee on the right side. Giovanni Soto doing the catching for right hitter Carlos Silva.
And Silva ready to work, and Orlando Cabrera pulls one down the line, home run distance, and it's foul. The last swing Cabrera took was a game-ending home run in the bottom of the 10th on Wednesday against the Mets. Carlos works fast. That's a good slider for a strike. 0-2 on the veteran shortstop.
Not sure if Cabrera is going to be the full-time leadoff hitter for the Reds from this point forward, but tonight good numbers against Carlos Silva, so he's in there.
Ramirez will make the play. Nice recovery after couple of errors last night.
And we talk all the time how the numbers can be a little deceiving sometimes. I mentioned Cabrera's numbers very good against Silva. A .394 batting average with a homer and 4 doubles. However, with that ground out, he's now 1 for his last 11. A lot of the damage came very early on in their head-to-head matchups.
Silva, one of a dozen pitchers in baseball with 5 starts and no losses. A strike on Brandon Phillips. He has homered in back-to-back games. Reds are in the bottom half of the league in most offensive categories. 11th in runs, 14th in on-base percentage. They have hit the 5th most home runs, 30.
But speaking to that low on-base percentage, all 8 of the home runs they hit against the Mets in that recent series were solo homers.
Yeah, how about that? In that 3-game series, the Mets and Reds combined for 11 home runs. They were all solo shots. And according to Elias, it was the most home runs all solo in a series between 2 National League clubs since 1973, the Cubs and Pirates. 11 solos in a 4-game set at Three Rivers.
This was the kind of day here at Great American Ballpark during batting practice. You probably want your pitchers to stay in the clubhouse. You mentioned that wind blowing out to left center field. Phillips will ground easily to Terrio at second base. 2 down.
We'll talk about the transition from short to second. Ryan's played second in the past. 53 career starts in the majors. The last prior to tonight came in 2007. A little more time if you drop a ball, right?
Oh yeah, you know, the ground ball right at you, you can let the ball come to you as opposed to shortstop where you need to charge the ball. And the biggest play I think is going to be the double play pivot. A ground ball is a ground ball is a ground ball. Ryan Terrio can pick him up if they hit him to him. That one gets by into right field for a base hit for Votto. But that double play pivot is a completely different animal when you're coming to the bag from your second base position with your back to the runner. You have to take that feed from either the third baseman or the shortstop with your back to the runner and your back to your target. Quickly turn, pick up the base, make a throw, and then avoid that sliding runner. That may be something that Ryan will gradually work up to. We'll see how it goes tonight.
With that hit, Joey Votto has extended a modest hitting streak to 6 games and keeps it alive for Scott Rowland. 89 on the sinker for a strike on the veteran Rowland. They see how much wind there is on the field. See that jersey of Carlos Silva's moving in the breeze.
Yeah, it's a good idea to check on Votto over there. He's second on this Reds team in stolen bases. Only Drew Stubbs has more. He's attempted 7. He's been successful 4 times.
Silva's 0-2. Roller up the middle and a base hit. Votto will easily make third.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective for Scott Rowland. Just a ground ball back up the middle of the field. Castro was shading a little bit in the hole. Terrio from his second base position had no chance to get there. By the time Marlon Byrd's able to come in and get it, Votto's advanced all the way to third base. The outfield grass looks like it's mowed very close here at Great American Ballpark. Unlike PNC Park in Pittsburgh, where the outfield grass was like a hayfield.
One strike on the right fielder, Jay Bruce. Up and in.
In their first series against the Reds, the Cubs pitching staff had a lot of success against Jay Bruce going up the ladder with that 4-seam fastball. He's a real good low ball hitter, but he will chase the fastball up high out of the strike zone from time to time.
Silva set and a 2-1 pitch. Is lofted foul back to the seats. A lot of Cubs blue, especially right behind the visiting dugout. Not a huge crowd. I would expect the crowds to be bigger over the weekend. And he's run it full 3-2. Cubs again 1-2 against the Reds this season. They'll come back here for a third series in late August. Ball 4, and they're loaded for Johnny Gomes.
That is the first walk that Carlos Silva has issued to any member of this Reds roster. 83 previous at-bats for the guys on the active roster. He had not walked any of them until that base on balls to Jay Bruce.
Wow, that is remarkable. More from the Red standpoint than Silva's, because he usually is around the plate, but I think you'd sprinkle in a few walks. No, we're not in the prediction business, but I think Gomes is going to swing the bat in this spot. 1 ball, no strikes.
He's going to swing hard, and he's going to try to pull it to left field with some loft.
And he pops it up. Soriano underneath, and that's the inning. They leave him loaded. All the base runners coming after 2 are out. We're scoreless after 1.
A 315 horsepower, 5.3 liter V8. 21 highway MPG. 20-inch wheels and a heart of chrome. GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR for 72 months on Sierra half tons. Rated a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Or choose 5,000 cash back on most Sierras.
What's that saying?
Shut your eyes.
High life light here. Get your high life light.
Are they really trying to serve the high life light here?
This is the home of hoops and hockey. This is sacred ground.
Trampled upon by a canine beauty contest.
It's making me queasy.
High life light here. Get your high life light.
Should I handle it?
Handle it.
Handled.
Is that a portrait of the dog?
Oh, what's the name of your company again?
Mike's Construction. Mike is getting schooled in internet search by his daughter's boyfriend, Jimmy.
You're nowhere on the internet. I can't even find you.
What? Fred is working with his Dex One marketing consultant. She helped him improve his online presence and attract new customers. Fred is building on success. Mike? I should be on the internet somewhere. He's still getting up to speed.
Nope.
Your business can get all this by calling this. 1-877-4DEX now.
Exciting times in Cubdom. Starlin Castro, the #1 prospect, making his major league debut here in Cincinnati tonight. And just a little refresher course earlier this afternoon. Alan Trammell, of course, worked with Starlin Castro a lot in Arizona in spring training, going over some footwork on the double play pivot at second base. Just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. 20 years and 44 days old.
Youngest Cub to debut since Oscar Gamble in '69, and also the youngest Cubs shortstop ever to make his major league debut. Marty Shea had been the youngest in 1916, and we'll see Castro in this inning. Soriano, Soto, and then the rookie phenom. Interesting, he was working with Alan Trammell. Tram made his big league debut at 19 with the Tigers in 1977. So he was actually a year younger than Starlin Castro. With 2-0 to Soriano, good rip, and he fouled it off. Three for 6 with a homer against Bailey.
This might be the key at bat of this entire series. As hot as Alfonso Soriano was for about a 2-week period there, he started to show some signs of chasing that slider out of the zone the last 2 games in Pittsburgh. That's a good sign, taking the base on balls. Great seats, including bleachers, are still available for this Tuesday, May 11th, when the Cubs host the Marlins at Wrigley Field. Game time is 7:05, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs photo frame, compliments of Kimberly Clark. Get your tickets today by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS or visiting Cubs.com.
Giovanni Soto with a couple of doubles last night in Pittsburgh. Rough night overall for the offense, but he had a good one. He has reached base 1 out of every 2 plate appearances on the season. Slider right on the outside corner.
And Soto's approach has been really good lately, too. Obviously taking the base on balls, not swinging at pitchers' pitches, and also most of his base hits recently have come right back up the middle of the field, including a home run to straightaway center, a couple doubles to straightaway center.
The kick and the 0-1. Another slider that missed. Homer Bailey's from LaGrange, Texas. Was the 7th overall pick in the 04 draft. Former Reds #1 prospect 3 years in a row, 05, 06, 07.
A little bit of an overswing this time from Soto. Had the count in his favor. He was going to try to do some damage right there. Now hopefully he'll shorten up, just put the ball in play somewhere. Keep the line moving.
How's Starlin feeling right now?
I was just thinking the same thing, Len. I was trying to remember what I was doing when I was 20 years old. I was sure I was up to no good somewhere, but can't imagine standing in the on-deck circle waiting to take your first major league at bat at 20 years old.
Ooh, a little flinch by the home plate umpire Brian Runge. 3-2. Soriano runs and a base hit into right. He'll just keep on going to third base. So Castro will come up with runners at the corners and nobody out. He turned 20 on March 24th. Cubs signed him back in 2006. Born in Monte Cristi in the Dominican Republic. We've already seen Jason Hayward, Ike Davis make their big league debuts against the Cubs. And now it's Starlin's turn. Cubs #1 prospect according to Baseball America. And he was red hot at AA Tennessee. He hit .429 in spring training.
He's hit everywhere he's been. I believe he's a .310 career minor league hitter. Played in the Arizona Fall League last year. Tore that up. Hit .376 with 5 doubles, a triple, a home run in 26 games in the Arizona Fall League. I mean, a lot of similarities between the Cubs' #1 prospect, Starlin Castro, and Ike Davis. We talk about a lot from the Mets. He had been the best hitter every team he'd been on. Castro has had success at every level.
And that's the pitch right there, Bob. Every team in the league is going to find out if he can hit that pitch. That was nasty.
Well, you assume when a kid comes up from the minors that he can hit a fastball.
Outside. I saw Jeff Brantley, former major league pitcher, and one of the Reds broadcasters before the game, and he saw Castro's name in the lineup. The first thing he said was, can he hit a breaking ball? I said, we'll find out tonight.
We'll find out. Well, plus at this level, you'll see breaking balls in any count, not just when the pitcher's ahead.
A fly ball to right. Bruce going back. Starlin Castro! A 3-run homer! Welcome to the big leagues. An opposite field home run for the kid in his major league debut. How about that? That might be the jolt this team needed.
Certainly hope so. I'll tell you what, you asked the question, could he hit a breaking ball? Well, if his first at bat in the big leagues is any indication, he can hit a hanger. Well, you don't see many shortstops with opposite field power like Castro just displayed. Now, granted, this is a small ballpark, wind blowing out a little bit tonight, but he drove that ball to right field.
Nice patient at bat. Silva, the 2-hopper at Phillips. That's only the first out.
Now, he saw the slow curve earlier in the sequence. Bailey tried to go back to it again, left it up belt high over the middle of the plate. Castro got that front foot down, kept his hands back, let the ball travel into the hitting zone, and then drove it out of here to right field. That's a pretty mature piece of hitting right there for a 20-year-old.
Well, the Cubs have scored 5 runs in a 3-game sweep at Pittsburgh, and they get 3 on one swing from a 20-year-old. Not quite this easy, Starlin, although he made it look just about that easy all spring training long. Terrio skies to right. Bruce will haul this one in.
Has a little bit of an unorthodox approach at the plate. Starts with a square stance, but opens up. Use an overworked baseball term, he steps in the bucket. But he still has pretty good plate coverage, can get the pitches on the outer third and hit them to the opposite field, as we've seen already.
Kosuke 1 for 1. Jason Hayward did it against the Cubs on opening day. And now Starlin Castro making some history of his own. That'll end the inning. But the inning belongs to Starlin. A 3-run homer in his first major league plate appearance, and the Cubs lead 3-0.
Experience a Cubs game at historic Wrigley Field. Individual tickets are available for upcoming games. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS, visiting the Wrigley Field box office, or by logging on to Cubs.com. See you at beautiful Wrigley Field.
Hey, Jared. First in line, huh?
You knew I'd be first in line for this.
Spread the word. Subway is now open for breakfast. Try the Western Egg White Muffin Melt, made the way you want. Build your better breakfast at Subway.
All we ask is that you keep doing what you've always done. The Lexus RX. Never has a vehicle been designed to feel so natural. See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
When Ken's brakes started squeaking on the evenings, and Pam's check engine light came on near Michigan Avenue, and before Tom headed out to the lake house, they all came here. Midas. Total car care. Total customer care. That's the Midas touch.
Get the best local sports news nightly on Sports Night, presented by Dex. Coming up tonight at 10, a Game 4 recap, Hawks in Vancouver, and the Cubs calling up Starlin Castro. Join Sarah Kustok for Sports Night, presented by Dex, tonight at 10, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Drew Stubbs hits a high fly ball the other way. Fukudome calling for it, getting it right in the middle of the warning track. 3-0 Cubs on the home run by Castro. And Bob, we want to send out congratulations to Comcast Sportsnet Chicago President Jim Corno for his induction into the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences prestigious Silver Circle. The award recognizes outstanding individuals who have devoted a quarter of a century or more to the television industry and have made a significant contribution to Chicago broadcasting. And the event is tonight at the Millennium Knickerbocker Hotel in downtown Chicago. So congratulations to Jim Corno.
Absolutely well deserved.
Who launched this network in October of 2004. Began his career in 1963 in his hometown of St. Louis. Very involved in numerous charitable endeavors, including the Comcast Sportsnet Sports Awards, which raises record amounts for the March of Dimes Birth Defects Foundation. One and one on Ramon Hernandez, the catcher. His battery mate is on deck, Homer Bailey. Von DeJesus talking with Lou. Swing and a miss. Strike three, his first punch out of the night.
Hey fans, there's still time to get great seats, including bleachers for May Cubs games. Fans who purchase tickets on Cubs.com for the Marlins series this Monday through Wednesday will get a chance to purchase a subscription to Time Out Chicago for the reduced price of $9.99. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office.
.93. It's about as hard as you'll see Carlos Silva throw. Silva working quickly, as he normally likes to do. As you recall, he homer.
So I'm on a red-eye back from a bachelor party with my buddy Mike, who is a terrible, terrible dancer. He's actually right, but what up, Mike? Hey, dude. Yeah, this is how he dances. It's haunting. Anyway, while I was away, the E-Trade machine, thanks Martha, worked its techno magic, triggered my stop-loss orders, saved me a pant load.
Please fasten your seatbelts.
Dad? No, Mike, that's the pilot. He's making an announcement. Dad?
Upgrade to first-class investing technology at E-Trade. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Spirit Hollow Golf Course in Burlington, Iowa, one of Iowa's most prestigious and challenging courses. The tight tree-lined fairways, rolling hills, and open prairie offer a truly unique golfing experience. Enjoy a championship course close to home and at an amazing rate. Stay and play at Pizzazz, featuring Catfish Bend Casino, the elegant Catfish Bend Inn and Spa, and Fun City. Call 866-898-9349 or go online at SpiritHollowGolfCourse.com for reservations and specials.
You know how your engine feels. And when it's running clean, you feel it. Which is why Pennzoil Motor Oil doesn't just help prevent sludge. Pennzoil actively cleans out sludge. Cleans out up to 15% of sludge the first time you use it. So make your next oil change a Pennzoil change. And feel the clean. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Watch Comcast Sportsnet Cub game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Already big headlines in this one as Starlin Castro hit a 3-run homer in his first major league trip to the plate. Derek Lee leading off the Cubs' third. Bailey with an 0-1 offering. Slider strike. Derek has not been happy with that particular pitch called on the outside corner. It's had 2 different pitches in his first 2 at-bats that he looked back at Brian Runge rather, and said no.
I worked many a game in front of his daddy, Paul. For me, one of the best ball strike umpires to ever put on the blue. He was really good behind the plate. Especially if you had a pitcher on the mound that proved very early on in the game that he could hit his spots. He would tend to go off the corners just a little bit more for those guys once you establish that you could throw your pitches exactly where you wanted to. Didn't like it so much as a hitter, but I loved it as a catcher.
Might have a shot at that one right above our broadcast position. You were ready.
Ready for that one. It was coming right at us, just above us.
Homer Bailey, Bob, has one of those pure deliveries, 6'3", 210, very smooth.
Maybe a little too smooth. Hitters get a real good look at his delivery. Sometimes a guy can be so smooth that he's actually doing the hitter a favor. Gives you a real good look at that ball. Throws out of the same slot on every pitch.
You know, Edwin Jackson kind of fits that category as well. And that could be leading to some of his problems. Not hiding the ball well enough and throwing too many pitches down the middle of the plate.
That's a bad combination.
Well, and I think I kind of cringe, and I think every Cub fan does, when you hear anybody say about a particular young pitcher he has perfect mechanics. I don't think that really exists. And when you hear that term, you think of Mark Pryor. His career probably over. At the very least, it is stalled because of continuing shoulder problems.
I don't really know what perfect mechanics are. I mean, I've seen a lot of pitchers that have beautiful wind-ups. Their balance point is very good. Their leg kick is good. Their delivery to home plate is good, and they get their brains beat in. I think it's all about effectiveness. What happens to your pitches when they get into the hitting zone?
Good at bat as Lee takes ball 4.
I mean, everybody's different physically out there on the mound. Different things feel comfortable to different people, and bottom line is results. You can have the ugliest windup in the world and get people out, and you're going to pitch for a long time in the major leagues.
By the way, Castro was not the only top prospect to get a promotion. Josh Vitters was promoted from Daytona to Double-A Tennessee. Cubs' top third base prospect. Andrew Kashner, widely considered their top pitching prospect, has gone from Double-A Tennessee after a win to Triple-A Iowa. And let's not forget about Darwin Barney. He is red hot with Iowa. He's 14 for his last 24. So the Cubs are in pretty good shape at shortstop in the organization.
Bill Dancy, the skipper at Tennessee, has to wonder, what am I doing wrong here? I lose my best pitcher or my best position player. The Smokies are 19-9 with a 4-game lead in the Northern Division of the Southern League.
Yeah, they get Vitters but lose Castro and Kashner. I think he knew that those two guys weren't going to be there forever.
Hey, if you're a minor league manager and you think you're going to have your team intact from spring training through the end of the season, you haven't been a minor league manager very long. It's inevitable. That's why the minor leagues are there, to provide talent at the major league level when necessary. And you're going to lose some of your best players. That's the point. You develop them, you teach them how to play the game the right way. You hope they have some success, and when they do, it's time to move them on up the ladder.
Well, we just had the shot of Castro. You know, it reminded me of yesterday when we showed a very young Kerry Wood. When you look at Starlin Castro, you try to project him down the road. Marlon Byrd cranking one deep left center, gone. A 2-run homer. His 6th of the year. Cub fan caught it, and it's 5-0.
Marlon Byrd's first at bat against Homer Bailey was very disjointed. We talked about it at the time. The pitcher stepped off, Marlon stepped out, back and forth, back and forth. He looked a little more comfortable this time around.
So a leadoff walk and then a 2-run homer. Now we just have to stave off the rain. Ramirez turns on it and hits it foul. I don't even want to think about uninterrupted rain. Now with a 5-0 lead here in the 3rd inning. Well, this next pitch for Bailey will be his 70th.
You mentioned he threw 121 in 6 2/3 inning last time out. This has kind of become a pattern for him. A lot of deep counts. Base on balls here to Ramirez. Chamberlain College of Nursing and NursingSpectrumNurse.com are proud to bring you Nurses Day at the ballpark on Wednesday, May 12th. Join us to celebrate the last day of National Nurses Week. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Marlins at 1:20, and be sure to thank a special nurse in your life on Wednesday, May 12th.
Like Joey Votto, as Brian Price went out to visit the mound, went over and put some eye drops in.
Well, it has been unbelievably windy here in the Cincinnati area all afternoon. Felt a little like Candlestick Park down there at field level earlier during batting practice. Look out. Wow.
He is not fooling anybody at the moment. Action in the Reds bullpen. That's Micah Owings, who is also listed on their bench as a pinch hitter. Down the line, this will be foul. Not by much.
Oh, hooking right off the bat. That fastball's up and in out of the strike zone. That's how quick Soriano's bat is right now on heaters. Actually got out in front of a fastball up and in and hooked it foul down that third baseline.
That'll be 2, 4, 6, 3. There was a collision as Cabrera and Ramirez came together. Not quite sure it had to be that fancy, but they did turn it.
Yeah, it looked like Cabrera jumped over an invisible sliding runner there. Phillips got the ball to him in good shape. You can see how far away Ramirez is. Cabrera jumped for no reason whatsoever right there. He could have come across the bag and made a very easy throw onto first base and then got out of the way. But they turned the double play anyhow. Style points. Maybe that's like the old Soriano hop in left field. Totally unnecessary, but adds the style points. Yeah, that man can play some shortstop, though. He's been a good one for a long time.
And Brandon Phillips has a Gold Glove. 0-2 to Soto. He crunches at the center, but it'll be caught by Stubbs. 2-run homer, Marlon Byrd. 5-0 Cubs.
One Coors Light coming up. Here you go.
Thanks, Bob. Sweet setup. Yeah, ever since I got this new Coors Light home draft, it's like having a bar at home. Thanks. What's your girlfriend gonna say? I got that covered.
You're not on the list.
Bob has a list?
And you're not on it.
Introducing the new Coors Light Home Draft. CO2 pressurized for up to 30 days of fresh frost brewed draft beer right from your fridge.
Big Darryl, give it up. How you doing, Sarah? Good to see you.
Come on, really?
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
day one storm, and it was beautiful. So look, see the sights that you like. Fall in the morning.
AT&T covers 97% of all Americans.
Can you imagine the game played on anything less than the most beautiful grass you've ever seen? Neither can we. Scott's, official lawn care company of Major League Baseball.
Tomorrow, Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs hope to rule the Queen City as they take on the Reds at Great American. Coverage begins at 5:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs Reds tomorrow at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Cubs.com shop. Accept no substitutes.
Second time through for the Reds. Carlos Silva with a 5-0 lead. Left center, Bird goes after it. Has to play it on a bounce. Leadoff single, Orlando Cabrera. If you're looking for the Blue Jays and White Sox game, that can be found on Comcast Cable Channel 285 and on DirecTV Channel 666-1. For more info, visit csnchicago.com. Again, the Reds don't score a ton of runs. They are, however, a good comeback team, and they are excellent in tight games. They lead the majors with 7 wins in one-run decisions. They're tied for the NL lead with 9 come-from-behind victories. And they have 9 wins in their last at bat. And you can never have too many runs in this ballpark, especially with the wind blowing out.
It's a lot like playing at Old Coors Field before the humidor. No lead is ever safe until you get that 27th out.
Two and one on Brandon Phillips, who has had some issues with not running balls out. Something that had happened in the past. I think the Dusty Baker line was you have an A student getting B's.
I thought that was a great way for Dusty to put it.
They'll get one. Terrio's turn, safe. Well, that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I figured Phillips would easily beat that relay throw, and it was pretty tight at first base. He did get in.
Very slow developing double play, and with Brandon Phillips' speed, you almost assume you're not going to have a chance at first base. High chopper takes a long time to get to Ramirez. He got it to Terrio in good shape, who went ahead and tried to complete the double play. Yeah, that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be over there.
Well, it has become a theme that has been rather uncomfortable to talk about, but it's not just Brandon Phillips. We saw Lasting's Millage last night. The Cubs have had a couple of occasions where guys have not run out balls where they thought they'd hit a home run or maybe a ball would drop foul. It seems to be a major league wide epidemic.
That needs to be nipped in the bud. No excuse for it. I mean, you think about the game of baseball, unless you're an outfielder that's got to run down a lot of fly balls in the gap, as that one's fouled down the third baseline, looks like it's going to get up into the seats. Now, unless you're an outfielder and you've got to chase a bunch of balls in the gap, you only have to run hard 4, maybe 5 times a game. When you put the ball in play, run as hard as you can for 90 feet. That shouldn't be that tough. 4 times a game. It's not like you're asking guys to run a marathon backwards or anything. Run 90 feet as fast as you can 4 times and everybody will be happy.
And when we see a guy like Marlon Byrd who runs all out all the time, you find yourself praising him, which is fine, but really it's just doing what he's supposed to do. And I think he would even tell you that. He probably would say, I don't deserve any praise for running it out. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, it really stands out. And would you say it's more of a mindset than anything else?
I don't know what else you could blame it on. I mean, obviously there are times guys have physical issues where the manager will actually say, hey, listen, if you hit a routine ground ball at an infielder, don't blow a muscle trying to beat it out if you know it's going to be a routine play. But if you're 100% healthy and everything's feeling good, there is no excuse.
Kicks away from Soto, and Phillips easily advances to second.
Well, the thing that kind of gets lost in the shuffle too, Len, is if a guy hits a ball that he thinks is going to be a home run, it ends up hitting the fence and he ends up with a long single instead of a double. That's taking a possible RBI situation away from the guy hitting behind him in the batting order. And back in the old days, I know Ron Santo will attest to this, your teammates would get on you. Hey, listen, I'm trying to drive in 100 runs and help this team win some games this year. I need you to get to second base on that ball. And usually it only had to be said one time coming from a teammate.
Yeah, I think when it's framed under the team concept, it probably sinks in a little bit more. Still 3-2. Good battle between Silva and Votto. And then the flip side of that, well, really, I wouldn't say the flip side, but connected to that is field awareness. And the guy on deck, Scott Rowland, is as good as anybody in baseball at understanding situations as a base runner, as a defender. Called strike 3. Votto had already decided it was ball 4.
Well, Brian Runge hearing it from both teams in this ball game tonight. Votto apparently felt that ball was inside off the plate. He dropped his bat and headed down the first baseline. And that borderline. We know Joey Votto doesn't think it was a strike. I bet if you asked Silva and Soto, they'd say, yeah, that was a good pitch.
Foul. Yeah, the hustle issue has really nothing to do with analyzing or thinking about the game. It's just playing hard. But the cerebral side of it is also extremely important, and just having a good sense of game situations. We saw a play last year. I can't remember the exact scenario, but very heads-up base running maneuver by Scott Rowland to right. Fukudome back on it. And he makes the catch. Nicely done, right up against the wall for the third and final out. 5-0 Cubs after 3.
We're not going anywhere until our demands are met.
What are we gonna do now? Hello? Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys.
In my world, only you. You're my song, always true. All your skies ever blue.
Some relationships have been around from the beginning. For generations, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois has helped more families lead lives of confidence, knowing someone is always by their side. Because some bonds can never be duplicated.
Find blue skies everywhere.
Many will hear the calling.
Move it! Yes, sir!
Few will earn the title United States Marine. The few, the proud Marines.
Sunday night, it's Game 5, and Patrick Kane and the Hawks return to the Met House as the quest for the Stanley Cup heats up on Comcast Sportsnet. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live. Blackhawks, Canucks, Game 5, Sunday night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
This fourth inning is brought to you by Fourth Meal from Taco Bell. Open 1 a.m. or later. 20-year-old Starlin Castro on his second major league at bat. He's going to line out, sliding grab by Drew Stubbs in center. So he's hit 2 balls very hard and is 1 for 2 with a 3-run homer his first time up.
I don't think anybody would say Starlin Castro is a patient hitter. He likes to swing the bat, gets the barrel on this ball, lines it right back through the middle of the field, carries all the way out to medium depth center field. That ball was scalded.
The 1-0 to Silva. Big home run swing. I guess his wrist is fine.
You know, in a weird kind of way, that might have actually been a good thing for Carlos Silva. His changeup has really come around, and in my estimation is now his second best pitch behind that nasty sinker. He couldn't throw his slider because of that ailing right wrist that he injured swinging the bat, and had to go more to the straight changeup, and it's really become a good pitch for him.
Strike 3 and a curveball at 72. Now AT&T trivia. Who was the first player born during the 1980s to make his major league debut with the Cubs? Castro the first, born in the 90s. I think I know the answer to this. I will give you a hint. He is on the current roster.
I have a guess. Yeah, we gave you the important numbers for Starlin Castro in his 26 games at AA Tennessee. In 109 at bats, he drew 9 base on balls.
Nice jumping catch by Brandon Phillips to retire Terrio. Midway in the fourth, 5-0 Cubs.
See, the high life is about celebrating, not separating. We coming for your VIPs, and we ain't the paparazzi. We looking for the little fuzzy rope. How you doing? Yeah, we're not on that. I can guarantee that. Excuse us. Thank you so much. Paying extra money so other people can't sit next to you. You know where I come from. We party together with a good, honest beer at a tasty price. Fuzzy rope to make y'all feel more important. Common sense ain't on the guest list. These people know how to do it. That's it. Hey!
Plan your next corporate or social function in one of Wrigley Field's private party accommodations. Wrigley Field offers a variety of private, catered opportunities to host and impress your group. The Mezzanine Suites presented by Nuveen Investments has 4 convenient rental plans to fit all budgets and needs. For larger parties of 75 to 100, the Bud Light Batter's Eye, located in center field, provides a unique view of the game. All private party accommodations provide generous food and beverage packages, as well as VIP parking. Call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com.
Let's take the garden into our own hands. Soak our yards in color. Get our hands a little busier, our dollars a little stronger, and our thinking a little greener. Let's grab all the bags and all the plants and all the latest tools out there so we can turn all these savings into more colorful shades of doing. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Get Mom the colors of spring with great hanging baskets and container plants at our everyday low prices.
Time to answer our AT&T trivia question. First Cub born in the 80s to make his debut. I think it's Big Z. He was born in 1981, made his debut in 2001. So he watches from the right field corner. Bruce pops it up. And Soriano will make the catch in fair territory for the out.
Tell you, Len, I'm not saying he's never going to drop another ball in left field, but since he's eliminated that hop, he looks so much steadier. His head is still. Ball's not bouncing around as he's running over there into foul territory trying to complete the hop before he makes the catch. He looks like a completely different ball player.
And he's hitting. Sometimes those two can be connected. You alluded to Aramis Ramirez last night that maybe has started to take his offensive slump out to the field on defense. Castro can't get it, and Gomes has a single.
We saw Starlin Castro play the position in spring training. We know he's got tremendous range. This ball, a lot of top spin. That last bounce just shot past him into left field as he tried to make the diving play. Most shortstops diving in that location, you'd say he still had no chance to make the play at first, but not the case with Castro because he has a cannon for a throwing arm.
A pretty flat bill of his cap.
You see the open mouth sign to Ryan Theriot. Middle infielders will let each other know who's going to cover the base on a stolen base attempt depending on the pitch. If it's an off-speed pitch to a right-handed hitter, he's more likely to hit it to the left side of the infield. Castro would open his mouth indicating to Ryan Theriot, you have the bag. If it's a fastball away to a right-handed hitter, he's more likely to hit the ball to the right side of the field. Then he would use a closed mouth, meaning me. And those middle infielders would do it on every pitch. As soon as they see the sign from Giovanni Soto, they'll put their glove up in front of their face, let each other know who's going to cover the bag at second, and then get ready for the pitch to be delivered.
Castro, Theriot, Lee, a double play. First one of many they will turn hopefully this season. 5-0.
A 315 horsepower, 5.3 liter V8. 21 highway MPG. 20-inch wheels and a heart of chrome. GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR for 72 months on Sierra half tons. Rated a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Or choose 5,000 cash back on most Sierras.
Truck of the second. The eternal. The 100-year reign. The heavens and the earth. Truck of the longest mile. The season. Motor Trend's 2010 Truck of the Year. Ram.
Why do people shop at K&K True Value Hardware?
The place where you want to feel like you're being treated as a customer and as a person. That's the good vibes that you get back from people at K&K.
I know that when I walk in the door, someone is going to be there to help me. My gosh, I've seen some of the same people for 25 years.
They're friendly. They help me out with a lot of my questions, and it's just great to see a smile.
Service with answers, that's the K&K way.
You're watching the home of the Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back to the Subway fifth inning. Text footlong to 53695. If you are the 500th texter, you could win $5 footlong subs from Subway.
Fukudome, Lee, and Bird against Homer Bailey. We're in the fifth. Cubs leading 5-0. A rainout in Minneapolis. It's the first one there since September 20th, 1980 at the old Met. Orioles and Twins washed out. So they'll have a day-night doubleheader tomorrow. That game was postponed pretty early in the day. Ball 4, Fukudome takes a leadoff walk. The Blackhawks have a way for you to catch the exciting playoff action live. Text playoffs to BHawks. That's 242-957 to join Blackhawks Mobile and be entered to win a pair of tickets to an upcoming Blackhawks home playoff game. No purchase necessary. Message and data rates apply. I assume he's also rooting for the Cubs tonight. Kosuke takes off and no throw from Hernandez. He steals second base.
Tremendous jump that time by Kosuke. He caught Homer Bailey not paying any attention over there at first base and stole that base without a throw from Ramon Hernandez. Hernandez has been pretty good this year, 4 out of 12 coming into play tonight, but just decided to stick that one in his pocket rather than risk a bad throw.
The 2-1 is up, 3-1. Kerry Wood activated by the Indians off the DL. He had a strained muscle in his upper back and was on the DL for the 13th time in his career. Ball 4, 2 walks in the inning. Here comes Dusty.
Meet the Team, Have a Ball, presented by Bank of America's on Wednesday, May 26th at 2:30 in the afternoon. Collect autographs on an authentic MLB baseball from the 2010 Cubs players and coaches in attendance. Limited tickets are available for $300 each. Proceeds benefit Chicago Cubs charities. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com or call 773-404-CUBS.
The Lexus call to the pen. Micah Owings in, Homer Bailey out. We'll be back.
What if we just do what we did out west? Duff it,
That guy dies at the end.
Don't worry about Jake. He's the least of our worries. No, I don't feel good about this.
AT&T U-verse. Watch any show you record in any room. Buy a qualifying U-verse bundle starting at $99 a month. Plus, get $100 back via promotion card.
Spell simplicity.
Simplicity. FELDCO. Simplicity.
Close enough.
Call 866-4FEL-DCO.
Replacing your old windows, siding, and doors is simple. Just call Feldco for top quality at a low factory direct price. Installed by polite, hard-working professionals.
Simplicity.
Feldco.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELDCO.
Time for our Home Depot doing more on defense. There was some question, at least in my eyes, going into this game about Ryan Terrio's ability to turn that double play from the second base position. No problem on this one. Good feed from Starlin Castro. Terrio streaks across the bag at second to avoid the runner and threw on to D-Lee to complete the double play.
Here's Micah Owings, and because of his offensive prowess, Dusty doesn't have to double switch. He will come up second in the bottom of the fifth. Ball one to Marlon Byrd, 2 on, nobody out. Cubs already up by 5. A 94 pitch, 4+ inning performance for Homer Bailey. He walked 5. To right, Bruce getting set to throw as Fukudome tags and is going to have to hold. That ball was not hit deep enough.
In 4 starts against the Cubs, Homer Bailey has pitched a total of 20 innings, given up 29 hits and 13 walks. That's 42 base runners in 20 innings pitched. Now, obviously, he's doing something against somebody. It just isn't against the Cubs.
Ramirez has grounded out and walked. I have not seen Micah Owings without his cap on this weekend, but it looks like he might be sporting a mohawk. Floated out into shallow center for a base hit. Fukudome, big turnaround third. He's going to stop there. They are loaded up.
Well, you got to start somewhere. A little floater into center field. Ramirez got jammed with a fastball inside off the plate, but dunks it out there in front of Drew Stubbs for a base hit to load him up for Alfonso Soriano.
Ball one to Soriano. A walk and a run, and then he hit into a double play. Inning started with back-to-back walks. And that knocked Homer Bailey out of the contest. Shank foul, 1-2. Owings has gone at least 2 innings in half of his appearances. We've seen him as a starter in the past. 2-2. Yeah, kind of weird. Owings and Zambrano each have won a Silver Slugger award, and they're both pitching in relief currently. And he struck him out.
.91-mile-an-hour fastball looked like it was on the inner part of the plate there. Good pitch to hit for Soriano. Just comes up empty. A little bit tardy.
Well, I like this matchup. Soto and the bases loaded, considering how patient he's been.
And this is one of those at bats, Len. Granted, the Cubs have a 5-run lead in this ball game, but these are the situations where they have had trouble cashing in recently.
Well, you think about how they've scored tonight on a couple of home runs. And the Cubs are not hitting home runs. They have struggled to score. Piece of the end of his bat, and he's in a 1-2 hole with 2 down. Castro on deck.
Back in that second inning with Soriano on the move on a 3-2 pitch, Giovanni Soto took a fastball and lined it into right field for a base hit. That had worked pretty good right about now.
He's run it full, 3-2. Kosuke will get way foul as he'll run from third. Here's the pitch. Ouch.
Like a straight changeup. Owings left it up over the inside part of the plate. Gio out in front just enough that he fouls it off his own foot.
Right off the front heel. Another 3-2 inside, ball 4. Kosuke's in. Soto gets an RBI on the bases loaded walk. Third walk of the inning. So the last Cub, as we look at the Menards Big Lumber stat, to homer in his first career at bat was a pitcher, Jim Bullinger, 1992. Well, this could be a really big night for Castro. I would say it already is. 3-run homer. He has as many homers here as he did at Double-A.
And just watching his approach once again, watch that front side kind of open up a little bit. He still has pretty good plate coverage, but I think with all the advanced scouts in attendance here tonight and the guys that are going to be watching Starlin Castro in the near future, you're going to see a lot of pitches toward that outside corner of the plate. A mistake that time by Owings. Ramon Hernandez was out there on the outside corner, but Owings left the pitch up and in.
Castro was not anxious in his first at bat, and on a 2-2 hit a hanger for a 3-run homer to the opposite field. Second at bat line hard to center on the first pitch. Ooh.
He's an exciting guy. I'll tell you, he lets that bat go. He's exciting defensively. He runs well. I mentioned earlier 9 walks in 109 at bats at the AA level. Got cut off before I could finish. He only struck out 11 times. He's a free swinger who tends to make contact. This is where that plate coverage comes in. That ball is belt high just off of the outside corner. Hit it hard, but unfortunately foul down that right field line.
The 2-2. It's full. He just walked Soto to make it 6-0. Owings ready. The 3-2 to Castro. Left center. He's going to knock in at least 2 more. Soto coming in. Castro on his way to third. A 3-run triple. What a night for the kid. 6 RBIs on a homer and a triple.
Slider inside part of the plate didn't fool the kid at all. Lightning quick bat, dropped the barrel on that ball and drove it into the gap. And then the fun started. Man, can he motor. Really cuts the base short at first, gets the inside part of the bag at second to cut that distance down and goes in on his belly to third.
Silva taps. Owings will underhand, and it's been Starlin Castro's night. 6 RBIs and the Cubs lead 9-0.
Discover the unexpected beauty and man-made relaxation in Northwest Florida. Fly Southwest new one-stops from Chicago Midway to Panama City Beach starting at $119 one way. Grab your beach bag, it's on.
How does Chili's Bottomless Express Lunch keep you coming back for seconds? It's all in the preparation. Now for only $5.99, enjoy our famous house-made chips and salsa and our hot, tasty soups like chicken enchilada or the new chicken and green chili. Slow-smoked chicken topped with ripe avocado and fresh cilantro. Plus, enjoy our new house salad with hand-cut romaine topped with fire-roasted corn. All with unlimited refills. It's Chili's Bottomless Express Lunch for just $5.99 for a limited time, only at Chili's.
Want to touch up your car's shine but don't have time to wax? Get the shine that sticks. New Finish Cling Spray Car Polish. Simply spray on this unique no-drip formula and just wipe off to give your car a brilliant shine in minutes. Kling doesn't run like those watered-down sprays and lasts 3 times longer. So get New Finish Kling, the shine that sticks.
Available at Pep Boys, Target, Ace, Walgreens, AutoZone, Walmart, and other leading stores.
Hi everyone, Luke Stuckmeyer here with your Coors Light Sports Night update. A busy night at Comcast Sportsnet. Todd Hollingsworth and I will bring you Sylvania Cubs postgame live after this game. Then we'll join the White Sox game in progress on the main channel. That's followed by Sox postgame live. Sports Night and a special edition of Blackhawks postgame live right after Game 4 with the Hawks and Canucks. Right now, more Cubs baseball with Len and Bob.
9-0, and 6 of the runs provided by 20-year-old Starlin Castro in his major league debut.
And he's already got the homer and triple. Anybody ever cycled in their major league debut? I'm
going to guess no. He is slugging 2,333. 7 total bases and 3 at-bats.
Well, there's no other league you can send him to. This is it. This is as good as it gets, Starlin. So he'll make it look as easy as a spring training game.
Meanwhile, Carlos Silva shutting out the Reds through 4 as he faces the 8th batter, Hernandez. And a line shot, base hit to left. Let's get through this half inning.
Yeah,
with no rain.
And it's conceivable that Silva may give up a few hits from this point forward as long as he's in the ball game. When you're spotted a 9-run lead, your one job in the world is to throw strikes, and the other team knows that as well. And we know from Dusty Baker's past, he doesn't put the take sign on. Regardless of the score, he's going to let his hitters go to the plate, and if they like that first pitch, they're going to hack at it.
This guy can hit. Can hit 2. Left field corner, foul. The other thing you kind of like, Bob, and Jim Hendry had been thinking about this for a few days, if not weeks. Kind of like that Starlin is making his debut on the road. A little less pressure. There are a lot of Cub fans here, not nearly as many media members covering the Cubs. So he can get comfortable in the big league clubhouse. And not quite sure how good his English is. But there will be a lot of media requests when we get back home next week. And actually, not that it's easy, but once the first pitch is thrown, that is kind of the quote easy part for a lot of these players. This is what they know best, and it's all the other stuff that comes with being a major leaguer that you have to adjust to.
Now, this is the one place where you don't have to feel caution. It's what you're comfortable doing. You've done it your whole life. You know what you're supposed to do. And if you're going to swing like a hitter, we're going to pitch you like a hitter. Well, there's no doubt Starlin Castro is very comfortable here tonight.
There's a drive for Owings, and he knew it. His 9th career home run. It's 9-2. Well, that was a blast. Some style points there from Owings.
Well, after getting a pitch up underneath his chin on the one before, reflexes his muscles, goes deep to right center field. I think he still owns the all-time Georgia high school record for home runs for a high school player.
A little look into the dugout, his own dugout. So Silva's missed on the last 3 after an 0-2 start against Cabrera. Got him on a changeup. Well, it was a hanger, but I don't think Cabrera was looking for it.
Well, not the location that Silva was looking for, but he'll take it. A belt high changeup over the middle of the plate. Those are the kind that usually end up a souvenir.
Here's the 0-1. That's high, a ball and a strike. Cardinals lead the Pirates 3-2, bottom 6 in Pittsburgh. Chris Carpenter against Zach Duke. Phillies crushing the Braves 7-0, bottom 7. Jamie Moyer, a one-hitter through 7.
Wow. The ageless wonder.
Derek Lee will scoop and tag first. 2 down.
Plan your next corporate function or family gathering in the comfort of the Wrigley Field Mezzanine Suites presented by Nuveen Investments. Suites are available now for games during the season. To book your suite or for more information, visit Cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-4200.
Votto 1 out of 2. And a line shot to right. One hops the wall. Fukudome is going to keep Votto to a long single.
Well, that wasn't even one of those ones where maybe he's going to go for 2, maybe he isn't. He just pulled up at first base right away. He knew he hit the ball hard. He knew it was going to get a ricochet off the wall. You could see about 3 steps from first base, he realized with Fukudome getting to the ball as quickly as he did, he had no chance to make it to second.
Scott Rowland lofts down the right field line, and it's foul. It's raining in northern Ohio. Tigers 7, Indians 6. In the top of the 5th in Cleveland, and it's raining. Left field corner. Votto on his way to third. Mark Berry's going to put on the stop sign. How about this? 2 balls have been hit to the wall, and it's going to take another hit to get a run. And all coming with 2 outs.
Well, I mentioned as this inning started that Silva may give up some hits with the big lead in the ball game. And I'm sure the message from Larry Rothschild is continue to make good pitches. That's what you were doing so effectively in the early part of the game. Just aim down the middle of the plate with a big lead.
Jay Bruce takes it low. Right back here tomorrow night for game 2. That was off Bruce's foot. Carried him all the way out to Ryan Terrio at second base.
Oh, you got him up above the shoe on the front of the ankle.
Base hit. They're going to get 1. And here comes Rolen, a 2-run single, so they get all 4 back. But the Cubs got in the top of this inning. It's 9-4.
Pitch sinker down and away from Bruce. He just stayed on it after trying to pull the ball earlier in the at-bat. That time he stayed with it, drove it to left center field to drive in 2.
Yeah, Starlin will just have to drive in 6 more. No problem. Time to stop the bleeding here. Silva tries to get that elusive 3rd out here in the 5th. Justin Berg is up. Sean Marshall as well. Probably see a smiling Caridad by Sunday, as he should be activated from the disabled list by the end of the weekend. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Base hit. Boy, Gomes made a mistake. Boy, that's a big mistake for Johnny Gomes. He rounded first like he was going to head to second. Soriano's throw actually went toward third. Missed the cutoff man, and Gomes by that time was going back to first.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he could misread that throw back to the infield so badly by Alfonso Soriano. As you said, he came out of the box quickly, got down the first baseline pretty quickly, took a big turn at first, and when he saw the ball leave Soriano's hand, he slammed on the brakes and went back to first as the throw went to third and got by everybody.
That's where Soriano's reputation in terms of his arm might have affected what Gomes wanted to do. It's a 4th straight hit for the Reds, low and outside. Well, you know, Lou wants to give Silva every chance to qualify for the win. This might be his last batter. If he can't get Stubbs, he may have to go to the pen. Stubbs with a game-winning grand slam against the Cubs off Caridad back on April 9th. He's been struggling for his last 13, but as you say, if you've got a bat in your hands, you're dangerous.
Now, part of the reason he's been moved out of that leadoff spot is the amazing number of strikeouts. 1/3 of his at-bats have ended up in a strikeout.
Soriano coming over. That ball gave him just enough time to get there as it hung up. They get 4, and it's now 9-4 after 5.
One Coors Light coming up. Here you go.
Thanks, Bob. Sweet setup. Yeah, ever since I got this new Coors Light home draft, it's like having a bar at home. Thanks. What's your girlfriend gonna say? I got that covered.
You're not on the list.
Bob has a list?
And you're not on it.
Introducing the new Coors Light Home Draft. CO2 pressurized for up to 30 days of fresh frost brewed draft beer right from your fridge.
Big Darryl, give it up. How you doing, Sarah? Good to see you.
Come on, really?
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA offers a variety of options, including the Red Line, which stops right at Wrigley Field at the Edison Station. If you must drive, try the remote parking operation at DeVry University, located near the Edison and Rockwell intersection. The remote lot offers parking and an express bus for just $6. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com.
Get award-winning sports coverage and analysis. Join the 1.2 million people who read the Chicago Sun-Times every day. Subscribe now for only 25 cents a day. Call 888-84-TIMES or visit suntimes.com. Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago's original fan.
Now this is a chicken sandwich.
It's got 2 of everything.
2 pieces of cheese, 2 pieces of bacon, and 2 pieces of chicken.
The new KFC Double Down Chicken Sandwich. So much 100% premium chicken, we didn't have room for a bun. Tried an original recipe or grilled. Unthink and taste the unhungry side of KFC.
Tomorrow, Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs hope to rule the Queen City as they take on the Reds at Great American. Coverage begins at 5:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs Reds tomorrow at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Time for our Coors Light freeze cam. We're going to highlight the youngster Starlin Castro and his 2 at-bats in the game. A high breaking ball from Homer Bailey. First at bat, home run to right field. Then a hard sinker down and in from Micah Owings. He still got the barrel of the bat on it and tripled into the gap in left center field with the bases loaded. I mentioned he's a free swinger, but he tends to get the barrel on the ball with regularity.
Top of the order as Terrio looks at a strike. Got to keep pressing on here. The lead is 5, but the Reds showing that they're not just going to take this one lying down tonight. Slow roller picked up by Cabrera, had a little trouble, and Terrio has an infield hit. Cabrera just could not pull it out of his glove.
Playing very deep at shortstop was Cabrera. Took him a long time to get to this roller on the left side. And as you said, right there, just couldn't find the handle initially. Had to take an extra couple of steps before throwing on to first base, and that's all the time Terrio needed to leg it out for an infield hit.
Has a chance to lead the league in singles for the 3rd straight year. He's got a pretty healthy advantage. Terrio faked towards second. That's why Hernandez came up ready to fire.
Yeah, with the left-handed batter in that left-handed batter's box, the catcher's view of that runner at first base is screened. You really have to rely on somebody from your own dugout letting you know. And Terrio bluffed to second base. I'm sure somebody yelled, "There he goes," and Hernandez came out of his crouch. But Terrio had stopped and gone back to first base. You just don't see all that, though. You're blocked by that batter.
This time Terrio does run, and the throw is late.
After a false start on the pitch before, this time Terrio goes ahead, crosses over, makes his break for second base. Looked like he got in underneath the tag. Cabrera had to go up to take the high throw, giving Terrio enough room to slide to that outside part of the bag. He did come off, but Cabrera did not have the tag on him when he was off the base.
Kosuke off to an excellent start. And the 2-2 from Owings, bounced foul.
Sunday night, the most electrifying Stanley Cup Series around returns to Chicago as the Hawks take on the Canucks on home ice. Exclusive Game 5 coverage begins at 6:30 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live. Don't miss Blackhawks Canucks Game 5 Sunday night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Two, another foul. The Cubs will get their 10th run of the night as Terrio will easily score. Fukudome with a double.
Good night already for Kosuke. Drew a walk, stole a base. Second hit of the game, this time a double down into that right field corner to plate Terrio.
Powerful swing, 0-2.
It's gonna rain hard.
These are the kinds of games, by and large, the Cubs have won this season. The high-scoring affairs.
That wind we talked about at the top of the show continuing to blow out toward left center field, a lot harder than it was at the beginning of the ball game. I mean, when the Reds pitchers came out to take batting practice today, it looked like their lineup. And the pitchers, you know, they put down their sacrifice bunts. They hit a few hit and runs, and then they started swinging away, and every other ball was landing in the seats or in the grass out in straightaway center field. And that was pitcher's BP.
Lee strikes out, 1 away.
Of course, Micah Owings was hitting with the pitchers, and we saw what he could do in the game. But even guys like Aaron Harang and Bronson Arroyo, who aren't known for their hitting prowess, they were hitting home runs today.
Bird with a 2-run homer, 2 at bats ago in the 3rd. Well, he muscled that just foul.
Get off me, ball. You know, Glendon Rush would probably dispute the fact that Bronson Arroyo is not a good hitter. Yeah, that ball was almost past him there. Yeah, didn't Glendon give up 2 home runs to Bronson Arroyo? Yeah. I'm sure he appreciates us bringing that up.
Oh, yeah.
Glendon, a regular viewer of Cubs baseball. We get text messages from him from time to time during the season. Always good to hear from him.
I have a feeling you're going to get another one. Are you in on the weather forecast this weekend? Looks like it's supposed to get pretty cold tomorrow. I don't know if they've updated it, but I saw highs in the mid to upper 50s tomorrow.
Yeah, at least a 20-degree difference from what we had today, maybe even more than that. Temperatures reached the low 80s today and predicted, as you said, for the high 50s tomorrow.
This battle continues.
It may not play out in this particular at bat since Marlon Byrd is behind 1-2 in the count, but I always felt that the more pitches you can see from an opposing pitcher, foul them off, take the ones that are out of the zone. The deeper you get in the at bat, the more the advantage goes to the hitter. You end up seeing everything that Micah Owings has to offer. You see it in every location. Just try to stay alive and hope that he makes a mistake where you can get the barrel on it and do some damage.
In the air to right center. Stubbs with Fukudome tagging and heading to third. And the ball actually hit him.
Not sure why he didn't slide on this ball. Stubbs' throw was right on line. Mike Quaddy, the third base coach, you can see him down on his hands and knees, wanting Fukudome to slide into third base. Number one, it's a lot safer than running full speed and then trying to stop on a dime right on that base.
You know, Kosuke looked at Mike and pointed at his eyes. I think maybe he was screened by Scott Rowland. That's possible. Gives it a look, reaches over, and he caught it. Pulled that one right out of the stands. They add one. It's 10-4 Cubs.
It's Toyota's national sales event, the perfect time to get the Toyota you've always wanted. And while 80% of Toyotas sold in the last 20 years are still on the road today, these amazing offers won't last long. Get 0% financing for an amazing 60 months on a new 2010 Toyota Corolla. Or get $1,000 cash back on a sporty new Toyota Corolla. Toyota's national sales event going on now. Hurry to your Toyota dealer today.
Sunday night, it's Game 5, and Patrick Kane and the Hawks return to the Met House as the quest for the Stanley Cup heats up on Comcast Sportsnet. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live. Blackhawks, Canucks, Game 5, Sunday night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
How can a 94-year-old green guy save you money during the recession? He can check out your comfort system for free and tell you how to save money on energy efficiency. J.L. Brady has been offering the best HVAC service in Iowa and Illinois since 1915, and they can show you how to go green and save up to 30% on heating and cooling expenses. A system like that could pay for itself in less than 2 years. They're family-owned, and after all these years, still doing it the Brady way, the right way.
Sports Rise every morning only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Good offensive outburst by the Cubs so far in this ball game, pushing across 10 runs on 9 base hits. The Reds with 4 runs on 10 hits. Carlos Silva struggled throughout his 5 innings, surrendering those 10 base hits. He'll give way to right-hander Justin Berg, pitching in his 13th game of the season. Still like to cut down on those walks. Doesn't get hit very hard. His ball has a lot of movement in the strike zone. Occasionally he has trouble keeping it in the strike zone.
So up to the bullpen the rest of the way. And a strike to Hernandez. We've seen 3 home runs in this game, 2 by the Cubs, including Starlin Castro in his first career plate appearance. 3-run shot. Still 3-2 in Pittsburgh as Chris Carpenter has been very good tonight. Cardinals 3, Pirates 2 in the top of the 8th. Got him.
Hey, Cub fans, this season it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or sell tickets to the games you can make on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Chicago Cubs. You'll find great seats and great service on StubHub all season, so go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today.
Cubs' next opponent will be the Florida Marlins. They lead at Washington 4-2 in the 8th. They just got 2 to take the lead. Cantu and Zimmerman with home runs for their respective clubs. Mets 4, Giants 3, bottom 8 in New York. Ike Davis has homered twice. Ron Barajas with a home run as well. Backhanded play. Aramis Ramirez, and the throw away from Derek Lee. Owings is aboard.
Gets to it in good shape. Easy backhanded play. Rights himself. Has his momentum going towards his target. Just airmails it over Derek Lee. Terrio and Soto both hustling over to back up the play to make sure Owings could not advance to second.
Third error in 2 days for Ramirez. Owings will get the second.
Changeup that Bird just kind of choked into the dirt right there. Soto tried to make a backhanded pick and couldn't come up with it.
Three and 0. Still a lot of time left in this one. Padres 5, Astros nothing. Top of the 5th in Houston. Scott Hairston and Chase Headley have gone deep for the Padres. That'll get past Castro, and Owings is going to stop at third. He almost ran right through Mark Berry at third base. Well, that's a pitcher running. He ran straight to third, did not round the bag in textbook fashion, and he almost kept going.
I think he would have made it. Marlon Byrd came up firing to home plate. The throw was a little bit of a short hop to Giovanni Soto, but I think it was going to get there in plenty of time to beat Micah Owings to the plate.
Brandon Phillips with Rosie Red creeping me out in the background.
She is a little spooky looking. I don't know.
Hi, Lynn. Hi, Bob.
Oh, man. Ooh.
I will haunt your dreams, says Rosie Red.
It's kind of like that Seinfeld episode where George Costanza's girlfriend had a doll that looked just like his mother.
Bouncer to Ramirez. He's going to throw to second, and the relay in time to get the double play, as Micah Owings didn't know what to do at third. Didn't matter. 10-4 Cubs after 6.
Day one storm, and it was beautiful. So look, see the sights that you like on the morning.
AT&T covers 97% of all Americans.
It's the same, only different. The forever fuel-efficient Civic from Honda.
Update your walls with Dutch Boy paint from Menards. Dimensions offers bold coverage with bold colors. Painting with bright, vivid colors is no longer a chore because it provides superior coverage in one coat. Right now, save $7 a gallon. Clean up big messes with Scotch-Brite sponges from 3M. They're perfect for kitchen and bathroom cleaning. Get a 6-pack of Scotch-Brite heavy-duty or no-scratch multi-purpose sponges. Your choice, only $3.88 each.
Save big money at Menards.
Tomorrow, Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs hope to rule the Queen City as they take on the Reds at Great American. Coverage begins at 5:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs-Reds tomorrow at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan. Monday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll recap games 4 and 5 of the Blackhawks playoff series with the Canucks. We'll look back at the weekend that was for the Cubs and Sox and the day's news Monday at 5:30.
Cubs are being out hit 11-9, but they lead 10-4. Kind of a weird base running inning for the Cincinnati Reds. As Micah Owings didn't know what to do on a ground ball to third. You got to go, right?
Yeah, you got to go. Otherwise, it's going to be an inning-ending double play. Even if you draw the throw to home plate, get caught in a rundown, you still end up with 2 runners on base and only 2 outs in the inning, and you still have a chance to score a run. You'll see Phillips once again with that high chopper down to Ramirez at third. He just wasn't quite sure what to do. I mean, he's a good hitter, but his base running experience is probably very, very limited. I would venture to guess that the third base coach, Mark Berry, even told him before the play what to do on a ground ball, but just froze when that ball was put into play.
Oh, and 1 on Soriano. We'll see Soto and then Starlin Castro in the inning. A 3-run homer, a 3-run triple for Castro as that's floated out into left for a base hit. And a 7-game hitting streak for Soriano.
We are working with Bloomberg Sports to provide some of the most in-depth and compelling data analysis baseball has ever seen. Fans can get their own set of these new state-of-the-art tools from Bloomberg, built for fun and for fantasy play. Go to BloombergSports.com to get a preview and find out all the details.
Soto walked with the bases loaded his last time up, and he rolls it up the middle, and Starlin Castro has come up a lot with men on base, and he's cleaned up.
Yeah, only his second at bat of the ball game, leading off the 4th inning where the base is cleared. Gotta love the opportunities.
And before he bats, Bryant Price is going to go out, and they'll try to figure out how to get this kid out. In the bullpen. It's Carlos Fisher. Former Cubs coach Juan Porky Lopez looking on, the bullpen coach. A line out and a triple. 6 RBIs. Tyler Colvin is on deck for Berg. Nothing but breaking balls.
Yeah, sliders, 2 sliders and a straight changeup so far. A lot of off-speed stuff here this time around to Starlin Castro. Now, he did hammer a hanging curveball to the opposite field for his first major league home run, so just trying to keep the ball down, change speeds, try to get him out front in this at bat.
He pops it up, foul ground, as Votto makes the catch.
His batting average took a hit right there.
Dropped 167 points. He's only hitting 500.
Strikeout, 1 wild pitch. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 wild pitch.
Good chance we'll see Tyler get a start this weekend. And he pops it up. Roland will not have a play.
Yeah, Lou said maybe even 2 starts in this series, depending on how it unfolds here. Boy, the problem is nobody wants to take a day off in this ballpark. Not if you're an offensive player, not if you have a lift swing and can get the ball in the air. You do not want to miss games in this ballpark.
Right on it, fouled it back, 0-2. Each team now with 11 hits. Cubs with a lot of chances with runners on base. Just got away from Hernandez.
Down pitch.
It's called a wild pitch.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't where Micah Owings was hoping to throw it, but it got there in the air, and Ramon Hernandez was just slow reaching across to try to backhand that one.
That'll bring the infield in with 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down, it's Terrio.
A little over aggressiveness on the part of Tyler Colvin. He knows right away he swung at a bad pitch. We saw it throughout spring training, though. Tyler didn't take a base on balls throughout the entire Cactus League season. He's an aggressive swinger as well, but yeah, for the first time this season, starting to go out of the strike zone a little bit.
Phillips in. Well, that inning had a promising start. The first 2 got on. Nobody scored. 7th inning stretch time, 10-4 Cubs.
What's that saying? Shut your eyes.
High life light here. Get your high life light.
Are they really trying to serve the high life light here?
This is the home of hoops and hockey. This is sacred ground.
Trampled upon by a canine beauty contest.
It's making me queasy.
High life light here. Get your high life light.
Should I handle it?
Handle it.
Handled.
Is that a portrait of the dog?
So many of your favorite
Subway footlongs are just $5.
Time out. How much?
Just $5?
How can they do that?
Company secret.
Everyone loves Subway $5 footlongs. So many favorites all day, every day.
Subway. Eat fresh.
Want to see all the action from the front row? Now you can with the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. Front row seats will be auctioned off to each game all season long. For more information, visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. The best seats are always a click away.
Let's take the garden into our own hands. Soak our yards in color. Get our hands a little busier, our dollars a little stronger, and our thinking a little greener. Let's grab all the bags and all the plants and all the latest tools out there so we can turn all these savings into more colorful shades of doing. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Get Mom the colors of spring with great hanging baskets and container plants at our everyday low prices.
Tomorrow night, the Cubs are back in the Queen City as Tom Gorzolani leads the Northsiders against the Reds. Coverage begins at 5:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs-Reds tomorrow night at 5:30 on your home for more Cubs games than any other network. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Southpaw Sean Marshall will pitch in the 7th. Look at that, 2 walks and 18 punch-outs. And he's been better against righties and lefties. Tyler Colvin stays in and plays left for Soriano. Well, so far, going back to 1952, Starlin Castro has the most RBIs in a major league debut. 6 of them tonight. Ben Grieve, Pat Borders, Joe Cunningham. Each had 5 in their debut. A 1-2 to Votto. He struck him out.
A nasty sequence. Pushed Votto off the plate with a fastball, dropped a curveball in for a called strike, and then blew another fastball right by Votto on the outside corner. All set up by the fastball under his chin. Got him a little loose in that batter's box. He didn't want to dig in. The next breaking ball buckled his knees for a strike, and then a tardy swing on a fastball for strike 3.
Marshall's been sharp. We're going to see Big Z likely in the 8th. Could be Carlos Silva, Carlos Zambrano, Carlos Marmol for what would be the 2nd time this year. Saw Carlos Fisher warming up for the Reds. Back-to-back Ks for Marshall using his fastball tonight.
That's what the reputation of having a great curveball will do. Guys will see fastball and swing at bad ones out of the strike zone, or in the case of Joey Votto, they'll be a little bit tardy because they're expecting that big bender.
10-4 Cubs in the 7th. Trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Cubs have kind of been on that win 4, lose 4, win 3, lose 3 trend. So maybe this is the start of a really good weekend. Foul on a play. We've called Starlin Castro the Kid a couple of times tonight. One of the more famous kids in the Hall of Fame, a guy you know very well, Robin Yount. He was a kid in his late teens when he came up.
I think he was 19,
the majors.
Yeah, when he got to the big leagues.
He's still kid. He got him. Called strike 3. What a job by Sean Marshall. Everybody looking for the curveball. He's throwing fastballs to get strikeouts. Votto. Then Roland. And Bruce to finish it.
All we ask is that you keep doing what you've always done. The Lexus RX. Never has a vehicle been designed to feel so natural. See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
You want to get a great-looking lawn like this, but trying to grow grass from seed in tough areas like deep shade, along the driveway, and where the kids play can be a little intimidating. Until now, with Scott's Easy Seed. It's so revolutionary, it's guaranteed to grow grass anywhere. That's because Easy Seed is a high-performance mix of Scott's Best grass seed, starter fertilizer, and a super absorbent growing material that absorbs water and expands to surround and protect the seeds. So you can grow thick, beautiful grass in even the toughest areas. The Scott's Easy Seed mix even lightens in color to tell you when it's time to water. It's so foolproof, you'll get a thick green Scott's lawn, even if you've never been successful with other seed before. The revolutionary Scott's Easy Seed. You're guaranteed to be able to grow grass anywhere. Go online to get a coupon for $5 off the purchase of Scott's Easy Seed.
Monday night, Comcast Sportsnet presents Inside Look with Lou Piniella. The Cubs skipper talks about life and work in the Windy City and how he deals with everything from irate fans to critical media. Tune in for Inside Look with Lou Piniella. Monday night at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Yeah, they should call that Inside Look.
Look, it's a good show, it really is.
One of Lou's favorite words is Carlos Fisher.
Lofty ERA. He has given up 6 hits in 3 1/3. However, he struck out 6 batters. Real long arm delivery, kind of slings that ball up there to home plate.
A 1-0 to Fukudome is inside. Fisher. You were a fisherman today.
Yes, indeed.
How'd it go?
It went well. It went well. We didn't catch anything big until the very end of our outing today. I went with Tom Otis Hellman, the clubhouse manager supreme for the Cubs. But ended up catching a 4.5 pounder at the very end of the day. Made it all worthwhile.
Ball 4. Kosuke's been on 4 times tonight.
Although that wake-up call was a little early this morning. Whew. Cubs got in here to Cincinnati late last night.
But if you like to fish, you got to do it early or late.
You know, it's a whole different story waking up to an alarm clock when you know you're going to go fishing, as opposed to waking up to an alarm clock and knowing you're going to the dentist, or you got to go dig post holes or something. You know, fishing's fun. I can get out of bed to go fishing anytime.
Down along the right field line and out of play. Well, you might want to take a walk tomorrow along the Ohio, and maybe that duckling you saved has made it this far.
I certainly hope so. Boy, the river's up and extremely muddy. I've never quite seen the Ohio River the color that it has been all day today.
Roland will throw to Phillips. No turn. One hit for Bird, but a two-run homer it was in the third.
Now, they estimated the distance of Marlon Byrd's home run back in the third inning at 401 feet. He got every bit of it.
Fisher's 0-2. Slider missed. Those pesky Pirates just tied the Cardinals. They're 3-3 in the ninth. They tied it in the eighth. Another deep drive for Marlon Byrd, and it will be gone, I think. No, they're saying it did not get out. This might be a replay, as Byrd will pull up with a double and lose coming out. I think it got over the yellow line and a fan touched it. If so, it will be his second home run of the night.
I would tend to agree with you, Len. With the naked eye, it looked like that ball hit above the yellow line, and judging by the way it ricocheted back on the field of play, I think it did hit a fan. If that ball hits the wall, it's going to come shooting back toward the field a lot harder than that one did. It does look like it hit on the yellow stripe. I saw the fan reach out there with the left hand.
Looked like it hit the hand first, though, didn't it?
Yeah, they're going to have to take a look at this one.
Which would lead you to believe if the fan didn't touch it, it may have gone over the yellow line.
This may be a tough one.
Real tough.
Most of the calls we've seen reviewed have been fairly simple.
Yeah, that's going to be in play, I think. I just don't think there's anything definitive saying that it went over the yellow line.
I think you're right. And that's the rule. It has to be a definitive difference of the call on the field in order to overturn it. It looked like the ball did make contact with the fan's hand out there, but I don't believe he was behind or above that yellow stripe enough to deflect a home run ball back onto the field. Still another hard hit ball off the bat of Marlon Byrd tonight.
Yeah, some of these replays don't take long at all for the umpires to look at, but this one may take a little longer.
You see the fan reach out with the left hand. It looked like just grazed his fingers, but I don't think that's enough to definitively say that ball was going to go over the fence if he didn't touch it.
Well, we like replay. It's worth taking another look. What are they talking about out there, Bob?
It's hard to say. Hard to say. Maybe talking about the pitchers that they faced tonight. Maybe talking about the home plate umpire strike zone. It's hard to say. Gold Star or Skyline Chili, which do you like better?
Like Lou said, I appreciate it. I mean, you really can't argue once an umpire says, look, we saw the video replay. Here's what it shows.
Just kind of surprised it took that long. I guess they wanted to make sure they got it right. It was obvious contact by a fan. They just wanted to make sure that the three sets of eyes that were looking at that replay got it right on review. Couldn't have done this while the umpires were down there huddling, could they? They had to wait until the game started again to go out and change the signs.
Well, if that Cub fan just could have caught that home run, would have made it a little tougher to gauge. Might have given Marlin the home run. Infield in. And Ramirez takes ball one.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it took a long time, but really it took less than 2.5 minutes for the umpires to go up into their locker room and check the replay. If that was called a double and Lou came out to argue with the second base umpire, then the third base umpire, then the home plate umpire, like he's been known to do, I'm sure that would have taken at least 2.5 minutes. If the call would have been reversed, Dusty would have come out and argued for probably the same length of time.
I think that's the key. You have the initial argument, which really isn't an argument. It's the, hey, I thought it was a home run. We'll take a look at it. And then that's it. Fontenot for Sean Marshall. Bases loaded, and he drills one right field corner. Gone! Mike Fontenot with a grand slam off the bench. A line shot right near the 325 marker. He tucked it just inside the foul pole.
it's funny how quickly circumstances can change with the ball club with one roster move. Starlin Castro added to the roster, will play shortstop every day, which means Terrio's going to move to second base and get most of the playing time. And right now it's a dogfight between Mike Fontenot and Jeff Baker to see who gets the backup spot and gets to play a little bit in the infield. And certainly a pinch hit grand slam is not going to hurt your chances.
(14-4).
Yeah, I feel better now, Len. I mean, this Reds team can bust it out, and this ballpark doesn't hold fly balls well.
Soto goes deep the other way, and this ball will go. Caught by a fan, and now they're saying fan interference and a double for Soto.
Review it again.
Brian Price is going to come out to the mound. No argument from the Cubs.
Yeah, it looked like it was headed for the seats in right field, but as it got closer and closer to that wall out there, it looked like it started to die a little bit. And once again, that fan reaches over on the field of play.
Yeah, it did look like he reached over.
Yep.
There's Castro again. Fisher looking at Soto, and he'll toss to first. 2 outs. Cubs scored 5 runs on 19 hits at Pittsburgh in the 3 games. 14 runs on 14 hits tonight. Phillips to his left. And that's it. Mike Fontenot off the bench. Second career pinch hit homer. This time a grand slam to make it 14-4 Cubs.
A 315 horsepower, 5.3 liter V8. 21 highway NPG, 20-inch wheels, and a heart of chrome. GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR for 72 months on Sierra half tons, rated a Consumer's Digest Best Buy, or choose $5,000 cash back on most Sierras.
Spirit Hollow Golf Course in Burlington, Iowa. One of Iowa's most prestigious and challenging courses. The tight tree-lined fairways, rolling hills, and open prairie offer a truly unique golfing experience. Enjoy a championship course close to home and at an amazing rate. Stay and play at Pizzazz, featuring Catfish Bend Casino, the elegant Catfish Bend Inn and Spa, and Fun City. Call 866-898-9349 or go online at SpiritHollowGolfCourse.com for reservations and specials.
Welcome to John King USA. 5 nights a week at 7, John King tells you how politics here affect you here.
We'll ask our reporters to work their sources and bring new information to you before it's in the morning newspapers.
Sources say, what's the point?
We're going to break down the game and the art of politics.
I don't think it's going to hurt Republicans.
Frankly, I think they scare independent voters more than anything else. We're also going to try to be a little bit different.
JK USA! Welcome to John King USA, CNN, weeknights at 7 Eastern.
Hi everyone, Luke Stuckmeyer with your Chevy Sports Night update. Todd Hollinsworth and I will bring you Sylvania Cubs postgame live after this one. We'll break down Starlin Castro's history-making debut. Plus, we'll answer your questions. Email us at pglchicago@comcastsportsnet.com. That's coming up in just a bit, but now, Len and Bob from Cincinnati.
Thanks, Luke. 14-4. And no big Z with the Cubs leading by 10. Instead, it's rookie lefty James Russell.
Russell's been pretty good in his previous 10 outings this season, a total of 9 innings. He's given up 9 hits, but struck out 8, walked only 1.
Jeff Baker now playing third. Cubs have actually had a tough time giving the ball to Zambrano with a small lead in the 8th. A lot of the Cubs wins have been big wins with a ton of runs. And a lot of the close games they've been trailing going into the 8th.
I mean, just like teams do with their closer many times when you haven't had a save opportunity, as Gomes hits one way foul down the third base line. Yeah, if your closer hasn't had a save opportunity for a while, sometimes you have to bring him into a ball game, whether you're up 10 or down 10, just to get him some work. I think at some point Zambrano will get an inning of work, although with the comfortable 10-run cushion, it's not going to be tonight.
Yeah, we saw him get in there the other night when the Cubs were down.
I should withhold that. He might pitch the 9th, you know. If Lou feels that Carlos needs the inning worse than the other Carlos.
Still 2-2 on Gomes. Russell was born in Cincy, went to high school in Texas.
That's a heck of a commute. Oh, he moved to Texas.
I think he moved, yeah.
I see. Hit it in the hot dog stand.
That was a Rob Deere foul ball.
Oh, he pulled that right back over his shoulder, right over the third base dugout into the second deck.
And he struck him out on a high fastball.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA Red Line stops directly at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station. For drivers, DeVry University offers remote parking and bus service for just $6. Try riding your bike and use the Cubs' new Courtesy Bike Check, sponsored by World Bicycle Relief, located at the corner of Clark and Waveland. For more details, visit Cubs.com or call the CTA hotline.
Bird and Fukudome coming in. It'll be Kosuke on the run. So Stubbs is 0 for 4. Yadier Molina with an RBI double. He's 4 for 5, and the Cardinals lead 4-3 at Pittsburgh, still batting in the top of the 9th. Hernandez, ball 1. Bird coming over, right center, lays out, cradled it, couldn't catch it, and it's a single for Hernandez. Great effort by Marlon Bird.
Come to expect that on a nightly basis from Marlon Bird. That ball tailing away from him toward the gap in right center. He lays out, unfortunately, just can't get the glove underneath that baseball. Kind of came down on top of it, rolled over it. And what in the world was Ramon Hernandez doing all that time? Ball was in the air a long while, splits the gap in right center. The center fielder's on his belly before he finds the ball, and Hernandez is at first base with a single.
Chris Heisey announced as a pinch hitter in the pitcher's spot, swing and a miss. Heisey made his major league debut in right on Monday against the Mets.
1 inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 1 whistle.
He was a Reds minor league player of the year last year, and he's here because Chris Dickerson just had wrist surgery. Russell gets a sign from Soto, and the pitch. So final in Philly. Jamie Moyer, a complete game, 2-hit shutout, 7-0 over the Braves. How about that? No walks, 5 strikeouts.
Probably didn't throw anything over 85 miles an hour.
Troy Gloss had 2 singles. That was it. As the Braves batters went 2 for 28. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Off to the 9th, Cubs leading 14-4.
Discover all that Northwest Florida has to offer. 17 hidden beaches, 1 revealing destination. Fly Southwest new one-stops from Chicago Midway to Panama City Beach starting at $119 one way. Grab your beach bag, it's on.
Get award-winning sports coverage and analysis from the toughest 1-2 punch in Chicago. Rick Morrissey and Rick Tellender, only in the Sun-Times. Call 888-84-TIMES or visit suntimes.com to subscribe today. Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago's original fan.
One Coors Light coming up. Here you go.
Thanks. Bob, sweet setup. Yeah, ever since I got this new Coors Light home draft, it's like having a bar at home. Thanks. What's your girlfriend gonna say? I got that covered.
You're not on the list.
Bob has a list?
And you're not on it.
Introducing the new Coors Light Home Draft. CO2 pressurized for up to 30 days of fresh frost brewed draft beer right from your fridge.
Big Darryl, give it up. How you doing, Sarah? Good to see you.
Come on, really?
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
So many of your favorites.
Subway footlongs are just $5.
Time out. How much?
Just $5?
How can they do that?
Company secret.
Everyone loves Subway $5 footlongs. So many favorites all day, every day.
Subway, eat fresh.
Cub fans, get ready for an exciting finish. Brought to you by New Finish Cling Instant Detailer. Now enhance your car's shine between polishing with Cling.
Len and Bob and our Comcast Sportsnet crew from Cincinnati. Big night for Starlin Castro in his Major League debut. And the screwball specialist Daniel Ray Herrera will take over for the Reds here in the ninth.
Generously listed in the Reds media guide at 5'6", 165 pounds. That may be with a pocket full of rocks. He's not a very big guy, but he's got a gimmick pitch. That screwball you mentioned, an off-speed pitch that breaks down and away from the right-handed hitter, and you just don't see many guys throw that pitch.
Also, Paul Yanish is playing second for Phillips, and Miguel Cairo, the former Cub, is at third for Roland. Outside ball one to Ryan Theriot. First game at second base since 2007 tonight for Theriot. And he now becomes a mentor to his double play partner.
I'll tell you, Len, I was a little skeptical just based on the fact that Ryan Theriot hadn't had much of an opportunity to work out at second base to turn that pivot on the double play, but he's looked very comfortable doing it tonight. I'm sure it will continue to be a work in progress. Wouldn't be out of the question for Ryan Theriot to be out here early tomorrow with Starlin Castro, just working on the timing of the double play at second base, get used to seeing the throws. Sometimes when the shortstop goes in the hole and throws back to second base, he'll do from an underhanded delivery. That ball will move differently than if he threw over the top. So all part of the learning process, and I'm sure they'll both get up to speed in a hurry.
Yeah, they were out working early today. Two and one on Fukudome.
You know, just like pitchers can be deceiving with their delivery to home plate, occasionally infielders in their throws can be deceiving. Some guys have a lot of wrist at the very end of their throws and get a lot more carry on the baseball than you might anticipate if you're expecting a throw from them. Other guys, if they don't get right on top of the baseball and throw overhand, will throw a nasty sinker across the diamond, and you need to know those things. Think back to former Cub Manny Trio when he came to San Francisco toward the end of his career and played second base. And one of the rare games I started at first base, I would be in a panic.
That's clubbed out in the left center, but Stubbs will flag it down.
Manny Trio would wait so long after getting a ground ball at second base, and I was a nervous first baseman to begin with, and I kept thinking, throw the ball, Doc, throw it, throw it, throw it. And he would wait so long and then just flip the ball over there underhanded with more on it than most second basemen could get throwing overhanded. He knew his own strengths and weaknesses, and he knew exactly how much time he had. However, I didn't know that.
3 runs tonight for Derek. Fair ball, left field corner. Gomes will retrieve it as Derek has just his 2nd double of the year.
A lot of crooked numbers in the box score for Derek Lee tomorrow. He's 2 for 4 officially, but as you said, he walked twice. He scored 3 runs. Hey, you like to pick up the paper in the morning and see lots of crooked numbers behind your name.
Marlon Byrd, right center, and it's Stubbs. Getting a lot of running in here in the 9th. Bottom 9, all Cubs in game 1.
So many of your favorite
Subway footlongs are just $5.
Time out. How much?
Just $5?
How can they do that?
Company secret.
Everyone loves Subway $5 footlongs. So many favorites all day, every day.
Subway, eat fresh.
Hello, may I help you?
Yes, Clyde and Keith to see Emmett Smith. Emmett, your gray facial hair has put you in a rocking chair.
Your beard is weird.
Your stash is trash. Oh, it's bad.
Just for Men Gel penetrates tough gray and puts it away in 5 easy minutes. His edge is back.
He's right on track.
Backfield in motion.
He moves and grooves. He scores! Just for Men Gel.
Keep your edge.
A 315 horsepower, 5.3 liter V8. 21 highway NVG. 20-inch wheels and a heart of chrome. GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR for 72 months on Sierra half tons. Rated a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Or choose 5,000 cash back on most Sierras.
Hey, Jared. First in line, huh?
You knew I'd be first in line for this.
Spread the word. Subway is now open for breakfast. Try the Western Egg White Muffin Melt, made the way you want. Build your better breakfast at Subway.
GMC player of the game, Starlin Castro, is a 20-year-old major league debut, 3-run homer in his first plate appearance. He would later add a 3-run triple. What a night.
Well, congratulations to Starlin Castro in his major league debut. I got to tell you, I enjoyed watching the triple a lot more than the home run. This guy can fly around those bases.
Got to keep him in the lineup. Cubs averaging 14 runs a game when Starlin Castro's in the lineup. 1 strike as John Grable will finish it up. Cabrera flails at strike 2 on a changeup. Righties have done a lot of damage against John.
Yeah, changeup is still kind of a work in progress for John. You saw that last one bounced well out in front of home plate, which is where you want to miss on an 0-2 changeup. You don't want to leave it in the strike zone. As he gets a better and better feel for that change, his numbers against righties will improve.
Called strike 3 on a fastball. Ooh, Cabrera swinging at the dirt. Good frustration.
Well, Cabrera can't make contact with the baseball, so
1 inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts.
takes a hack at the batter's box on the other side. I think he was trying to indicate that that's where he thought that pitch was.
Yanish to center. Bird, 2 down. Cub fans hanging around. 20,030. The paid attendance, many have left, but a lot of blue shirts still in the seats. Votto slices it into the corner and left. Fair ball. Colvin will get it back in. It's a double for Votto, his 3rd hit of the night. Cardinals held on 4-3 over the Pirates. Brian Franklin got the win. Evan Meek took the loss. Marlins beat the Nationals 4-2. Bolstad over Bruni. The Mets beat the Giants 6-4. Let's see. Rod Barajas and Ike Davis both homered twice. Barajas had the walk-off homer in the bottom of the ninth.
He's got about 10 now, 9 or 10 home runs, I think.
Sergio Romo. Yeah, Barajas has 9. That's going to get away and roll right out of play on a wild pitch. So Votto's at third. Francisco Rodriguez gave up a run in the ninth to blow the save, and then he got the win.
Another changeup from Graybo. He can't find a consistently good release point for that pitch. He'll throw some real good ones, and then he'll bounce some.
Cairo to deep right over Fukudome's head. It'll bounce out of play. It's a book rule double. So Graybo gives up another run. It's 14-5. The Yankees sent the Red Sox back to 500. 10-3 Yanks at Fenway. Phil Hughes over Josh Beckett, who gave up 9 runs, 5 1/3. Beckett's ERA is 7.46.
Every time I see Jay Bruce do that particular move, I think he's asking the home plate umpire for timeout. Takes his left hand, his top hand off the bat, and kind of extends it up above his shoulder before re-gripping the bat and getting ready to take a swing.
Three and one. Three and two. John Graybo is now allowed to run in 7 of his 15 appearances. And he walks Bruce and will have to face Johnny Gomes. Gomes is 2 for 4, both hits singles. Reds are going to get 2 more. 14-7. Runs don't matter, but the Cubs need to get John Grabo straightened out. Very important part of the Cubs bullpen. Just has not been consistent this season.
That's just unfortunate there too. A guy that was trying to pull that ball right down the left field line, cued it off the end of the bat, just a little floater over Derek Lee's head to drive home 2.
Stubbs. Ball 1. This is the 5th time Grabo has allowed more than 1 run in an outing. Colvin charging, and Gomes has to stop at third. The Reds will take no chances. Down 7. Well, he got the first 2 outs relatively quickly. The last 5 have reached.
Including 3 doubles. Now, granted, Gomes was a little floater down the right field line, but he's not making the pitches he needs to finish this thing up here.
Ramon Hernandez, ball 1. Big does the Fontenot pinch hit grand slam look now? Could be a 3-run game. Fukudome back. He will make the catch. Cubs win 14-7 the final. A rocky night for John Grabo, but that will not take the luster off a fantastic and historic major league debut for Starlin Castro. A homer, a triple, 6 RBIs, and the Cubs take game 1.
Good way to start a series after the offense really sputtered in Pittsburgh. Started to wonder if they were ever going to swing the bats the way we expected them to, and tonight they get a spark from the youngster Starlin Castro, and the rest of the offense joined in as well.
So that's going to wrap it up. Once again, the final. The Cubs 14, the Reds 7. We're right back here tomorrow night on Comcast Sportsnet at 6 o'clock Central Time. Tom Gorzolani for the Cubs, Aaron Harang for the Reds. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. Now for Bob and our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew. Len Casper saying so long from Cincinnati. Post-game live coming up, and again the final 14-7. The Cubs over the Reds. Good night.
How about that debut? Luke Stuckmeyer back in our downtown Chicago studios. Sylvania Cubs post-game live is next. Todd Hollandsworth will join me to break down the game and the major league debut of Starlin Castro. Plus, we're going to take your emails. Send us your comments to pglchicago@comcastsportsnet.com. Sylvania Cubs post-game live coming up after a quick timeout.
Come on, kiddo, let's go.
Hold on a second. Come on up here. Your brother's sick.
Wow.
Did I ever tell you what it was like growing up with 4 sisters?
That sounds fun.
Yeah, fun for them.
Chevy Traverse, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy with a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. It seats 8 comfortably. Not that it always has to.
Let's take the garden into our own hands. Soak our yards in color. Get our hands a little busier, our dollars a little stronger, and our thinking a little greener. Let's grab all the bags and all the plants and all the latest tools out there so we can turn all these savings into more colorful shades of doing. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Get Mom the colors of spring with great hanging baskets and container plants at our everyday low prices.
Plan your next corporate or social function in one of Wrigley Field's private party accommodations. Wrigley Field offers a variety of private catered opportunities to host and impress your group. The Mezzanine Suites presented by Nuveen Investments has 4 convenient rental plans to fit all budgets and needs. For larger parties of 75 to 100, the Bud Light Batter's Eye, located in center field, provides a unique view of the game. All private party accommodations provide generous food and beverage packages, as well as VIP parking. Call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Menards. At Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings. Chevy. Midas. For brakes, oil changes, and tires, trust the Midas touch. And by Toyota. And your local Toyota dealers, official partner of the Chicago Cubs. This is Sylvania Cubs postgame live.
Ahead.
Fly ball to right. Bruce going back. Starlin Castro! A 3-run homer. Welcome to the big leagues.
Oh, somewhere Harry Carey's saying, holy cow, how about that debut? The Cubs breaking out the big bats in Cincinnati. 15 hits, 14 runs, and 6 RBI in his Major League debut for Starlin Castro. Hello and welcome to Sylvania Cubs postgame live. Where were you for Starlin Castro's Major League debut? Luke Stuckmeyer and Todd Hollinsworth in our downtown studios. That's where we were for this big game. Wow, unbelievable. First time in Major League history a player drives in 6 runs in his first big league game. How about that?
Well, there's a star in his name, is there not? Starlin, he was a star. What a great call by Len there. I mean, the table couldn't have been set any better, I don't think. I mean, the excitement that was surrounding him getting to the big leagues. I mean, there was just so much about it. Should he be here? Is it too early? Is he ready? Is he going to be that spark plug that maybe ignites this offense or gets that defense going? I'll tell you what, he was everything that the Cubs had hoped for tonight.
What do you think he's feeling in that first at bat to come up, 2 guys on base and hit a home run, but what's going through his body as he's getting ready for that at-bat?
Well, if I can remember for myself, it was all about controlling those nerves. It didn't matter what was going on around him, how many people were in the seats, who was on the field, who was even pitching. I bet you if you ask him, he probably not even sure who was pitching. But he's just looking to get a good pitch and drive it, and he had a great at-bat. He sat back on a curveball and drive it, and he had a great at-bat. He sat back on a curveball, a high hanger out over the plate, and you know what was such a great at-bat? Why it was such a great at-bat is because he drove it the other way. It was going to be productive anyway. Even if that ball doesn't leave, the right fielder catches it with the situation he had with the men on base. It was going to be a productive at-bat. He gets the 3-run homer in Cincinnati, where we all know the ball flies out. He had a great night. Again, what can I say? What's he going to do for an encore? I mean, you get the triple here, a great at-bat, a multiple pitch at-bat, a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, 2 out RBIs. I talk about him all the time. That's what wins ball games. This young man, wow, what a debut.
When you talk about Castro and his at-bats, what you really like, though, is that approach, though, that he was able to go 7 pitches in an at-bat and work the count and then get the triple.
Well, you talk about the nerves that a young player has, the nerves that a 20-year-old would have making his big league debut for the Chicago Cubs. I mean, I'm not sure I would have been able to take a pitch. I'm sure I would have gotten in my mind the first fastball I see, I'm swinging at because I want this thing to happen. I wanted to get it over with. I wanted to get it going. That's probably why I made it out and broke my bat. But I'll tell you what, he had great at-bats tonight. He was up there. He wasn't afraid to get behind in the count. He was looking for his pitch all night long. You know, his at-bats at the end of the game when the thing was out of hand, he hit a couple balls off the end of the bat. But you know what? So what? I mean, if we're going to put the level of expectations on this kid to carry the Cubs to the promised land, I think we're all in trouble. They just want him to fill in, to do his job at shortstop, to play great defense, and to hit a little bit.
Frustrating series with the Pittsburgh Pirates, but this is a shot in the arm, and that is what they were looking for.
Well, absolutely, considering what happened in Pittsburgh. No runs. The pitching towards the end was not very good, but ball games that they could have won against two left-handed starters, a right-hander who started against them had an ERA over 10 going into the game, and the offense disappeared. Now, credit the Pirates for going out there and playing and winning a ball game and winning 3 ball games, and they got good pitching and some timely hitting, but the Cubs didn't do it. Their woes on the road continued, a .220 batting average, but they certainly showed up tonight. But what you're really finding out is that when the home runs are there, the Cubs seem to win, and that's what this team is built around. So they're going to have to continue to find ways to hit the long ball to get those guys in if they're going to continue to win ball games.
5 runs for the Cubs in that series total against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Castro drives in 6 by himself today in his major league debut. An unbelievable game for the Cubs. They put up 14 runs, a couple of big home runs. Fontenot comes off the bench, hits a grand slam, so the offense was back. Meanwhile, we are going to go right back to Cincinnati, and we're going to hear from one of the stars of the game tonight, Giovanni Soto, talking to our Len Casper and Bob Brenly after tonight's game.
Well, Gio, Starlin Castro's major league debut, he didn't look nervous, did he?
No, I mean, he's he looked like he's ready, and you know, he's a quite little, great young man, and hopefully he does good. I mean, he showed what he can do today, and hopefully he keeps it up.
You got a base hit right before his first at bat. It's nice to give a guy some base runners and put the pressure on the pitcher, take it off a young Starlin Castro. Oh, okay. Should we? Do you know who it was?
Yeah, them.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
That's a good guess.
Gotta be them. I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, he double barrel action. He got you from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to get good at bats, trying to be on base, and hopefully get that guy at third. So somebody drive him in or drive in some runs. We need to win some ball games.
Well, and Gio, you've been taking a lot of walks this year. You've been very patient, and even in those at bats when you don't draw a walk, you get counts in your favor. That's so important for any hitter, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working with Rudy and just trying to get in good counts. I mean, obviously I'm hitting 8, 7, 8, and you need to be in that position to in order for the pitcher to bunt you over, be on base and make something happen, or turn the lineup over. So.
We'll let you go get cleaned up, Gio. Congrats on a nice win tonight.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, so big night for the Cubs offense, including Soto, 3 for 4 tonight. He continues to hit well at the plate, and offense so far has been the key to this team. They are 13-4 now when they score 4 runs or more, just 1-12 when they score 3 runs or less. Is it really that simple?
Luke, well, let me tell you what. It's about the home runs. This is what we were talking about. Those 4+ runs, that's because they're hitting the ball out of the yard, and we've seen that this year. You can break it down any way you want. When the home runs show up for the Cubs, they win ball games. The pitching seems to pick itself up. This Cubs offense, it kind of works backwards a little bit. We talk about this behind the scenes a little bit. They don't really seem to get going. You even saw tonight Fontenot stealing a base with a 9. When the game's they're moving 7-0, I think it was, or 8-0. That's when they kind of start opening up on the base paths, and that's how they don't really do it at the beginning of the game. They let their offense, they let the home runs. If they show up early and they can jump on a starter, it's when the offensive floodgates seem to open. They don't really do it the other way around, which most teams typically do, where they try to create some offense early in the game, score a few runs, and then hope the home runs show up later to put this thing away. They kind of play it backwards, hope the home runs are first, and then the offense opens up.
Okay, we're going to take your emails, answer some of your best questions and emails at pglchicago@comcastsportsnet.com. Expect a few of them to be about Starlin Castro. As we head to our first break, let's check out our Cubs opinion poll tonight. Who had the most memorable Cubs debut that, at least in your opinion there? Starlin Castro or Which Cubs prospect would you like to see called up? Whichever one you want to vote on. Go to Postgame Live. We'll answer both of those coming up on the Postgame Show.
There's nothing like seeing Blackhawks hockey in stunning high definition. And there's nothing like watching the biggest new DVD releases on breathtaking Blu-ray. Bring home the best in home entertainment with the Sylvania HD LCD flat screen and the outstanding Sylvania Blu-ray disc player. Available today at Sears.
I wanted to paint my whole room this color.
Yep, she wanted to paint her whole room that color. So we went to Lowe's.
I just told them that we could find a really great purple out of one of our color palettes that we have arranged by room. It's called Rocker Girl.
My room looks awesome.
Oh, and our everyday low prices are guaranteed. Can I dye my hair purple?
Experience.
No.
Lowe's. No. Let's build something together.
That's all you, Mom.
Come into Lowe's for $5 off Valspar Signature Colors paint.
This is unlike any car you've ever seen before. This is power with efficiency. This is an interior that exceeds even the promise of the exterior. This is the all-new Jaguar XJ. The stunning result of taking a very different road.
Every 2011 XJ comes with best-in-class platinum coverage, including a 550 warranty and complimentary scheduled maintenance.
Get award-winning sports coverage and analysis from Rick Morrissey and Rick Tellender all season long, only in the Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago's original fan.
My life, it's hectic. I work, run the kids around, and try to keep the house organized. Fortunately, our iWireless family plan is simple, with unlimited talk, text, and web to anyone from anywhere in the U.S. Unlimited plans for less? That's simple. That's iWireless.
Simplify and save with unlimited family plans from iWireless, starting at under $80. Powered by the nation's largest high-speed voice and data network, all with a 30-day risk-free guarantee. iWireless. Why pay more?
Spirit Hollow Golf Course in Burlington, Iowa, one of Iowa's most prestigious and challenging courses. The tight tree-lined fairways, rolling hills, and open prairie offer a truly unique golfing experience. Enjoy a championship course close to home and at an amazing rate. Stay and play at Pizzazz, featuring Catfish Bend Casino, the elegant Catfish Bend Inn and Spa, and Fun City. Call 866-898-9349 or go online at SpiritHollowGolfCourse.com for reservations and specials.
You're watching the home of the Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
Comcast gives you access to over 2,000 choices and the best HD picture quality in Chicago. Plus, get 10,000 on-demand titles to pick and play whenever you're ready. Call 1-888-4BEST-TV. And here is your correct poll question for tonight if you want to go to csnchicago.com. Who had the most memorable debut here? Starlin Castro with a homer in his first at-bat, then a triple and 6 RBI, or Mark Pryor with his 10 strikeouts in a win in 2002, or remember Kosuke in the 9th inning, that home run on opening day in 2008. Go to csnchicago.com. Todd Hollinsworth, you do not qualify because technically it was not your first game, although you were big time in one of your first games for the Cubs.
My first hit.
All right, time now for our 4 seasons, who's hot, who's not. We need to add Starlin Castro to this list. Hanley Ramirez hitting .423 with 4 homers in the last 7 days. Roy Halladay has 15 strikeouts over his last 2 starts. Who's not? Well, Ryan Ludwig of the Cardinals hitting .095. Arizona's Edwin Jackson has allowed 11 hits and 8 runs in 4 innings. All right, every day on Cubs Postgame Live, we pick up your best Len and Bob Call the Game. Here is the Feltco Call the Game and Starlin Castro.
Ahead.
Fly ball to right. Bruce going back. Starlin Castro! A 3-run homer. Welcome to the big leagues.
Welcome to the big league. 6 RBI, first player in Major League history to knock in 6 runs in his Major League debut. But he wasn't the only guy hitting tonight. Let's check out the Cubs lineup box from tonight, and a lot of guys coming through. We had 14 runs, we had 15 hits, and we'll take a look at that board later. But a lot of guys contributing, including Mike Fontenot, who came off the bench to hit that grand slam. Look up and down there. That's hit after hit after hit. Marlon Byrd almost had 2 home runs in this game.
It was a fantastic effort by these guys, and it's almost like they get 3 games of frustration in Pittsburgh and it just explodes. I mean, they were fantastic tonight. They had more walks tonight than they did strikeouts. They had 8 walks over 6 strikeouts. On the flip side of that, Cincinnati struck out 10 times and they only walked twice. I think that was the deciding factor in this game. But they're aggressive and they do feed off each other. I know that the 3-4 spot's been a big question lately. You get a little bit of production. These guys are going to pull themselves out of it. But everybody else in that lineup really showed up. And we talk about Mike Fontenot. Tip your hat to that young man, because he went out and he had a chance to, feel sorry for himself. Maybe he's lost some playing time. He obviously has. I think people, were kind of, he was doing everything that was being asked of him, I think, up until this point, even coming off of last year, which was a bit of a struggle for him. But anytime you're demoted, and I've been there before, it starts with your attitude. However you choose to handle this. I mean, you can feel sorry for yourself. You can go home. You can go to the general manager and ask for a trade. But I'll tell you what, if you put yourself in a position to handle this thing the right way, you can show up and you can be productive, and you're going to be, you earn your way back into that lineup. And he did just that tonight. I mean, goodness gracious, after he finds out the news, I'm sure within the last 24 hours he finds out the news, he's seen 1 pitch and he hits a grand slam, his first home run, I believe, of the year. Fantastic effort. Tip your hat to him.
Try not to think of it as a demotion, but a way that you can help this team get better as the season goes on. Time for another break here on Sylvania Cubs Postgame Live. Big win on the road. We'll talk about Carlos Silva and probably more about Starlin Castro after the break.
Share the drama. Share the excitement. Share the joy. The PGA Tour playoffs for the FedEx Cup return to Cog Hill for the BMW Championship September 6th through the 12th. Who will you share history with?
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Low prices, more choices. Discount Tire.
4 days may seem like a lot of time, but they can go by very quickly, especially if you're looking for a free phone. That's why you'd better hurry to U.S. Cellular's free phone days from May 5th through 8th and choose from the Samsung Caliber, LG Bliss, and LG Triton. They're stylish, versatile touchscreen phones, and they're free, but only for 4 days. Free phone days, May 5th through 8th only. U.S. Cellular. Believe in something better.
At Quicken Loans, we're obsessed with finding a better way for you to get a home loan.
We've got a way for you to check the status of your loan online, securely, anytime, anywhere.
Our e-signature technology lets you sign your documents from home at your convenience.
We've helped over 750,000 families refinance or purchase their home.
It's how we've done things at Quicken Loans for 25 years now.
That's why I love
being a home loan expert.
A 315 horsepower, 5.3-liter V8. 21 highway NVG. 20-inch wheels. And a heart of chrome. GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR for 72 months on Sierra half-tons. Rated a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Or choose $5,000 cash back on most Sierras.
Welcome back. Our next installment of Inside Look airs on Monday. This time, David Kaplan sits down with Lou Piniella to give us a rare insight on his life growing up as well as a message for Cubs fans. Is the fiery manager really starting to mellow out?
The fans here get very excited quickly, and they get down just as quickly. And, you know, this is a game. It's a business. The fans should enjoy it for the entertainment value. Yeah, they want their team to win, but unfortunately, there are 30 teams in baseball that want the same thing.
Inside Look, Lou Piniella premieres on Monday at 11, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Welcome back. Here's our poll results. You went online tonight to CSNChicago.com. Who had the most memorable debut for the Cubs? 64%, no surprise, say Starlin Castro tonight. The home run in the first at bat, 3 runs he knocked it in, and then a triple knocking in 3 more. First player in baseball history to drive in 6 in his major league debut. Do you remember your first hit as a Cub?
Yeah, it was a home run.
It was a home run, just not your very first at bat,
no,
right?
I think it was my second or third.
Do we have that on tape?
We might.
Oh, let's look at this.
Braves fans on their feet. And there's a drive. Belted deep to right. Hollingsworth, a pinch hit home run. 3 in as many days allowed by Smoltz, and the Cubs have life.
Todd Hollingsworth, his first hit with the Cubs. It wasn't your first at bat, so that's why we couldn't put you in the poll question. But you had a lot of great firsts with the Cubs.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was. This is one of the funnest stories I love to tell, because it was the first time I absolutely realized that I was a Chicago Cub. Here we were in Atlanta, really only experienced Chicago as a visiting player, and I knew about the fans at Wrigley, and boy, you better bring your A game. I get it, they know what's going on out there. But when I hit that home run and I was running around the bases, there was 15, maybe 20,000 people in that ballpark standing up, going crazy on the road in Atlanta. And that's when I said, wow. I mean, I was fresh off the World Series, not to irritate anybody, but I mean, I was fresh off the World Series and I hadn't seen anything like it. But here I was running around the bases with 15,000 people in a visiting ballpark going crazy because I just tied up the ball game in the 9th inning.
Real quickly, S. Louchman from Norwich wants to know online, is it too early for Castro to be here? Is he too young?
6 RBIs? No. He's got a star in his name? I don't think so. I'm excited to see him. You know what? He brought a spark tonight. Hopefully he can continue. I mean, the test is not going to be just today or tomorrow. It's going to be over in a long, extended period of time, how he's going to impact this team. You know, I think right now they want him to go out there and do his job, have some fun, and see what happens.
More on Castro coming up on Sports Night. Thanks for watching Sylvania Cubs Postgame Live. We will bring you the White Sox and Blue Jays in progress right now. It's in the 11th inning. Cubs win 14-4. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented to you in high definition by Sylvania HD LCD TVs and Blu-ray disc players. You must see baseball in stunning high definition.
There's nothing like seeing Blackhawks hockey in stunning high definition. And there's nothing like watching the biggest new DVD releases on breathtaking Blu-ray. Bring home the best in home entertainment with the Sylvania HD LCD flat screen and the outstanding Sylvania Blu-ray disc player. Available today at Sears.
What if we just do what we did out west?
Oh, I've seen this. That guy dies at the end.
Don't worry about Jake. He's the least of our worries. No, I don't feel good about this.
AT&T U-verse. Watch any show you record in any room. Buy a qualifying U-verse bundle starting at $99 a month. Plus, get $100 back via promotion card.
Come on, kiddo, let's go.
Hold on a second. Come on up here. Your brother's sick.
Wow.
Did I ever tell you what it was like growing up with 4 sisters?
That sounds fun.
Yeah, fun for them.
Chevy Traverse, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy with a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. It seats 8 comfortably. Not that it always has to.
Menards will help you get the lawn you want with less watering. Scott's Turf Builder grass seed absorbs and releases water to keep the seed moist. Choose from perennial ryegrass mix or tall fescue mix. Your choice, $7.99 a bag. Finish yard work fast and easily with MTD trimmers. This 17-inch gas trimmer is just $67.77. This 17-inch model features a 31cc two-cycle engine that starts with a slow and steady pull, just $118.
Save big money at Menards.
Spirit Hollow Golf Course in Burlington, Iowa. One of Iowa's most prestigious and challenging courses. The tight tree-lined fairways, rolling hills, and open prairie offer a truly unique golfing experience. Enjoy a championship course close to home and at an amazing rate. Stay and play at Pizzazz, featuring Catfish Bend Casino, the elegant Catfish Bend Inn and Spa, and Fun City. Call 866-898-9349 or go online at SpiritHollowGolfCourse.com for reservations and specials.